So, do you see Emu and Luffy in the background of that cover page?
Yeah. Someone brought it up. In response to that person, I was saying like, hey, I mean, birds, whatever, but like the second chapter of One Piece, chapter 2, one of the greatest cover stories of all time. It's just like Luffy with a bunch of emus and is striped for some reason. I always wondered why. Like because for me, I'm like, I don't know what is considered holy, but for Oda, right? First chapter, second chapter, I would say probably up to the fifth chapter because that's Zoro, right? Like, I mean, chapter 10 is also like buggy, but I would think that the first cover stories are probably like Oda is probably cooking in there. There's
Foreshadowing to
something in
hell.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just doing something that he himself, like it might not make sense to anybody else, but when he gets to the end of the series, he's like, I did that.
It's gonna
That's what
come
I did.
back.
Yeah, yeah. I'd imagine there's a bunch of things for himself too. Is if he's doing so many different like foreshadowing, whether it's in visuals or language in English or French, like I would imagine he has a bunch of secret Easter eggs that it only makes sense for him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I bet
but
there's a
yeah.
lot of like foreshadowing Easter eggs like that we'll never even like hear about. It's just like not even Oda will
Hmm.
like publish about it. He's like, oh yes, I drew this panel with my left hand one day, and you can actually see a chip in this guy's armor that I did by accident. That's actually
Yeah.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like stuff
Like
like
I
that.
had the like he has a journal entry, his diary. So like cuz that's the main thing, right? Like what was his intention? If he had the actual intention and it stayed there, the only way for us to prove it is if he had like a diary that he wrote on that day that
Yeah.
like in the end of the story this is going to happen, and so for that reason in chapter 180 I did this. If that would be the only way for us. But like another example, it would be like, like the people thinking like Oda's Noda Skywalker. That's like one of those things that I don't think Oda will ever, like, even when One Piece is done, I don't think he'd be like, I was Noda
Because
Skywalker.
that'd be
You know what I
embarrassing
mean?
if he did come out and say that. Hey guys, I'm this fake Twitter account that posts little hints about Oda. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I self-request cover stories and
I,
some.
I
I
yeah, I
think
streamlined
Noda's.
my own requests, by the way, guys. Yeah, no, Oda should never say that, even if that is him.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, when it comes to like this thing, like I think it's pretty cool. I think it could be a hint that maybe Emu and Luffy, or should I say Emu and Joy Boy back in the day were friends, maybe. Like they got along.
yeah.
Like I don't think that's like a crazy take or theory. I think everybody kind of, I wouldn't say believes in it, but they can see it, right? That's like an anime trope. Like look at Hashirama and Madara. Oh yeah, like they fought at the Valley of the End. They hate each other. Oh, wait, what? They were friends in the past? It's just a classic thing.
Oh, I see something even more.
Ooh, what
Oh
is
my
it?
God. It might. So, like, what we're seeing, right?
Yeah.
It might not necessarily be like, so to say, connected of the sense of like Bond Clay and the background are like consistent. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the swan that's emu has the like the blush mark that Bond Clay has. And when he transformed, he doesn't have that. But maybe it's saying that the emu
Was
is
in
like an
love.
imposter.
Oh.
Oh,
I saw
I was
the in
thinking
love one.
imposter.
Somebody mentioned that earlier. They're like, oh, like what if they were in love one day? And the reason they don't like Lily isn't because Emu was in love with Lily, but that's because it's a competitor of love. Lily stole Joy Boy's heart.
I mean, one way or the other, there's like between Higurashi and Bon Clay and now Katarina Devon, there's like some nuance that like in the past there was some like masquerading of some sort of one of the main important characters. One of them was an imposter, essentially. Like
Yeah.
it. I think that's something that a lot of people have thought, and like along with that would be like trickery with love. You know what I mean? There's a
Would you
lot of
want that?
stories where do I want something like that? Like,
Yeah, because like
I mean,
I feel like we've been through so many like, oh, it's this character in disguise. Like, oh, like Bon Clay,
mhm.
Counter Devon, for example. Like, would we want that again?
I think it feels so like it depends how you do it, obviously, with everything.
Yeah.
But like in One Piece, we have enough examples to kind of pinpoint where it feels powerful, right? When we got introduced to it, and it was Bon Clay is disguising himself as the king of Alabasta. That's like a very obvious trope that like you don't need to like I feel like even if I told my son now, he would be able to figure out what comes next. It's like, oh, he acts like the thing, he's corrupt, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Like the alternative would be he becomes the king and he's a great king and everyone loves him way more, right? Like that. I mean, there are some stories like that, but so like that one makes sense. That's the when Oda introduced it. That's the first use case, right? And then we go to like Impel Down, and then that's a different situation because now we're friends with Bon Clay. We know his tenacity. We start to like him, and then he uses it in a sacrificial manner again on a character that we're so fearful of, and he abused that fear so that no one questioned him. And so it's like Oda has used Bon Clay in a very powerful thing, and to that notion, right? Like Higurashi felt fine, but that was a subplot within a subplot within a subplot. That could have been done many different ways. But Catherine Devon, that one is the one I'm a little because we don't care about Catherine Devon even amongst Blackbeard's crew. It's like I don't know if I think a lot of people are anticipating something, but is it like people are anticipating it more than Shiryu's? What can Shiryu do? You know what I'm saying? Like Daku, even when Daku made the female, medicine, that shifted things for people, right? Oh my God, our favorite character can have boobs? Like that's crazy, right? But like, and then on top of that, she can now transform into Saturn, which is kind of silly because Saturn got executed. So like all of those theories when we got like, oh my God, he's gonna masquerade as Saturn. Well, it's like now they kind of Imu unintentionally blocked that plot line because if Karen Devon turned into Saturn, everyone at the Gore, I mean, we don't know who knows, but the Gorosei would be like, yeah, that's Saturn died. Like Saturn's not here. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting. If the Void Century is able to somehow make us care about the character like the Bon Clay thing, which again it's hard because it's a detached story, then I would like it. But like you said, like it's kind of easy for it to fall into like a trope, very predictable kind of even the Magellan thing was a little predictable. It was just the emotions behind it, the sacrifice, the gravity, that made it very, very cool.
Yeah, so essentially it depends how it's executed, but I think it would be funny if we just go to like another Sukiyaki situation where it's like, oh, the king promotes this guy as the new hand, and it's like, well, it's not really him, but sure. Yeah, it really depends.
That one was so dumb, though.
No.
Yeah, it was. That one is dumber than that.
Sukiyaki?
Yeah,
we're not talking about the same plot point, are we?
Not the fake Sukiyaki. That's whatever, right? I'm talking about like the people, the daimyos following it with, especially with oh my God. Orochi. I was talking to Dax and I kept on saying Kurozumi will burn. For some reason. Oh, we were talking about Sukiyaki stuff. Yeah. So it just the Orochi wasn't there in the lexicon. But yeah, with like was it I forget which daimyo specifically, but they were like, I'm suspicious of you, but I'm just not gonna push any buttons. Like, wait, no, you should push button. What are you talking about? He just told you that like something like I think it was something along the lines of Orochi's like, oh yeah, like I was Odin's vassal or something like that, and blah blah, and that was not true or something. But he just didn't press the issue, and it's kind of like in the Alabasta situation. The dynamics was so different. Cobra didn't have like the way they did it. It was like very succinct because Crocodile planned it, whereas in that situation it's like the daimyo really shouldn't have fallen for it, and that is the role of the daimyo too. It's like they're the military kind of thing, and then the shogun is supposed to be like the political thing, and they also made it military, but it's just kind of funny that that's how it went down. Which again, that's my point. It's like like if it's very easy to look past the illusion, then it's not fun, right? So and in that scenario, that's a subplot within a subplot within a subplot. The Void Century version of this probably won't be like that. So hopefully it's not as easy to,
Ooh, maybe this is a
meta
hint
break.
that in the Void Century, because they didn't have that devil fruit, instead, the person who's the imposter simply just put on makeup. Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy? It's just like, oh my god, hey, it's you, and it's just like just makeup on the face. It's like, oh, well, gotcha. Oldest trick in the book.
I mean, to a certain extent, like we do have to question like devil fruit start and pre-devil fruit. What does the pre-devil fruit world look like?
Pretty
And
devil fruit is just makeup. That's it.
yeah, it's just people who tried really hard, but it's not like fantastical, right? So there's some guy who's just like like basically just autistically like bouncing off of walls, but he's not rubber. He's just like, I want to be a rubber ball. And that guy ended up becoming the Gomu Gomu, you know? It's just a bunch of
Oh
that, like people who
yeah.
chased it to eternity and their dreams manifested in the next. The will was carried on.
Oh, dude. Imagine we follow a character for like 10 chapters in the Void Century. We don't know it's actually Joy Boy, but somebody drops a one-liner like, man, you really bounced back, huh? Kind of like rubber. And that's it.
I
And that's like the
I'm
hint
not
that is
gonna
Joy Boy. Oh! That'd be crazy, man.
if Oda were to pull off something like that, like he brings us into a flashback and we don't know who Joy Boy is, and then it's a passive revelation, that would be kind of sick. And in reality, Oda did that with Ryuma, right? Technically, like contextually, the situational irony was that he was the king and he was the strong swordsman guy. He just
Yeah.
didn't know,
They did do that with
and he
Yuma.
yeah, yeah. So, and that is one of Oda's like, I wouldn't say pilot for One Piece, but pilot ideas, pilot thoughts to the point that Ryuma is just Zoro, just different hair color.
You know what?
Um,
Speaking of Ryuma, we should do that for Zoro, where, because Zoro doesn't know he's related to Ryuma, so maybe
mhm.
next chapter, for example, Killingham is fighting Zoro. Oh, no, Emu is fighting Zoro, and he says, your sword swings. It reminds me of Ryuma. Or no. What are you, a dragon slayer?
Are you a sword god?
Yeah,
it's
just something like
it's
that,
also
yeah.
Emu. I mean, their title would be Godhead of Swords, right? Like that would be technically what they would do.
Yeah, maybe that's too
But
on the nose, though. Maybe it should be like, what are you? A guy that uses swords really well? I don't know.
I
Be
I
so
would
silly.
like to think that Venus. Have we talked about this before? Venus should know Ryuma, right?
Yeah, he should. He should.
Yeah.
Like, there's
It'd be
nothing
kind.
that says it, but he should know Ryuma.
No, he can't. No, at this point he
Why?
can't because this is the same thing we talked about with Blackbeard. It's like it's unfathomable to like look at Rox's wanted poster and Blackbeard's wanted poster and not see past the blue hair and be like these guys are identical twins.
All right,
Like
hear me
it's
out. We do that same thing for Domi Reverse. That's like one of the top comments in my videos. They're like, hey, so what's up with everybody not realizing that these guys are Domi Reversi'd? Because in
yeah,
the
but
chapter, isn't somebody like, oh, Dory broke, what's happening? It's like, guys, they have demon wings. They got 10 times bigger. They're regenerating. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like,
but the
some characters are
difference
just
though
obtuse.
is that Zoro in the arc prior was constantly recognized as the, Ushimaru and possibly Ryuma, and every single time is like, huh, he's a one-eyed swordsman who came with he's is this guy, that guy, they look exactly the
No, not
same.
only
And
that, they
then
have
like
the same haircut.
yeah, and then Saint Venus, right? Yeah, it's not like the Garland family where it's like you could get by, but like I don't know, guys. This guy has a moon on his head. Like, surely he's not related to Shanks. Like, whereas, like, Venus, if he saw Ryuma, if he fought Ryuma, and then this guy who looks like just like him, one-eyed, he's holding the sandai. Like the thing is, Saint Venus, the first thing he said, Kitetsu? He didn't go Ryuma? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, okay, how about this?
Kind of
if Zoro had Shisui still, then he'd say Ryuma? that would have made all the difference. Yeah, I think that's why we had Zoro leave Shisui behind, because Venus would have gone crazy.
Yeah, but maybe he would be like, Shisui, what are you doing in this stranger's hand? That's not Ryuma. And Shusui's like, this motherfucker blind? Like, what's happening?
How about this? No. I got one even better. Zoro has Shisui. Instead of saying Ryuma, he says, brother. And then we learned that
we find
Venus and Ryuma were related.
Shimotsuki.
I mean, yeah. No, brother-in-law. How about that? Add some more later.
All right, then one of my theories would be, I think that
brother-in-law.
The names are so, they just don't like. I thought when we got the Holy Knights, the names. Like Killingham is probably the closest things, right? But like their names are just like first name, last name, you know? But then the Gorosei are like,
or sometimes it's first name, like Roswell.
Yeah. But then with like Saint Venus, he has Venus conveniently in his real name as an initial and pun. Like what were their names originally? It can't be that. And if then like what's Garling's situation? What is he? Like we don't change. If we get a new introduction bubble and he's not like Garling for Garling, and now he's like Saint P. Ludo. Like,
P. Ludo sounds crazy.
I don't know. Like, that's where we're going. It doesn't. I don't know.
Oh, dude. You know what would be so fire, actually?
What?
If next chapter, Zoro's like, oh, Dory, Brogy, you're the opposite of what I remember you to be. You are reversed. REVERSI. We need more one-liners like that, dude. We really do.
Like that one? Do we need more one-liners?
How about this? Luffy uses Red Hawk, and they're like, it's hot. It's like a sun god. That would have been a great hint. Wait, right? Like he uses it on Hody Jones, and Hody Jones says, it's as hot as the sun.
You know what I need? I need it to be a strip where Oda depicts the person turning to the viewer and saying it.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Oh my god!
It's like The Office, you know. Just have him just turn around, just deadpan. What would be another good one?
I mean, the Gorosei is probably gonna do that. Luffy turns into it, or Emu. Emu's gonna see Luffy in the sky. Joy boy, just like that.
Ooh. Or like
a boy of joy.
Back when O'Hara was around and Robin was like reading the poneglyphs in secret, Clover should have caught her. He's like, I told you not to do this, you devil child. Just foreshadowing at the epithet.
We're so dumb.
That'd be so good. Everybody would love it, man. Guys, you can't tell me you wouldn't love that.
I feel like when we say these jokes, right? We're laughing because we're both laughing. Imagine we said these jokes on our streams when we're not on the call with each other.
Yeah, no laughing, no nothing. Just actually, guys, we need Clover to say demon child before she gets the epithet. That's it.
That's so funny, right, guys?
A knee slapper by yourself.
Yeah, and then you're just with silence. It's just, oh my god.
Yeah.
But I feel like Oda is gonna do that. Like I'm not gonna say corny. It's just I hope he does it with the right group of characters. You know what I mean?
That isn't the God Knights.
Yeah.
Please, not the God Knights. No more, Oda. No more corny shit for the God Knights, please. Thank you.
No,
anyone but them.
Okay. There is. I'm allowing. I know this is gonna sound crazy, guys. I'm allowing Oda to make a subset of God Knights below even like the mark or whatever. Just they have disciples. They have like the God Knight like something beneath them that's like in between them and the CP0. Because that was always interesting me. That like I was like, huh, do they interact with CP0? And they kind of don't. They really don't, and they should. That's the intelligence arm. If you're not gonna go out to Elbaph, send CP0. You already had CP0 doing that 100 years ago. And so like they're just like with the Revs, where we got the captains, and then Oda took random background characters, like, oh, these are the vice captains. Let's do that. Let's do a Shangri-La, whatever the place was called. Just pick out a few of those random. Oh, they were always the vice god, the demigod knights. Oh my god, perfect. Like it's just, and then make them the meme. Push the meme onto them, because the way it's going, I almost feel like Oda might make the god knights like somewhat like the Ginyu Force. Like,
Don't say that.
they.
We still haven't met like 7 of them. There's still a chance.
There's a chance that those 7 are the Ginyu Force that Oda's been waiting for, where they just do Ginyu and they just do like cheerleading moves. Because that's what it was, right? Like we had who no when they came to Earth in Dragon Ball, right? It was like all serious. I don't think the Ginyu Force had like a full debut like that until we made it to Namek, right? So we go there and it's like, oh, everything's serious, everything, and then you just have these dudes going like Ginyu Force, and it's like, okay,
but they were strong though. Like they were so strong that Frieza was like, you know what, whatever, dude. They can just.
That's true. Yeah.
BS.
Except that one guy who like had the most insane. I think he had like time traveling powers.
Oh,
he could like
Goldo.
He pulled his breath.
He held his breath and he froze time for everybody.
Yeah, and then he never maxed out his lung capacity, and he just.
He was nerfed by his race. I think his race can't hold his breath long, so it's like that was like the main thing. Nerfed by birth, really.
Bro, that's so crazy. But yeah, like they were strong. The difference being though, those are like the first end villains, right? We went to another planet, fought an alien race, and they were strong, but that was like the first arc, you know, the first major saga thing. Whereas like now we're in the last saga. It really does matter who's the Ginyu Force. I know Oda's gonna do it. It's just, like you have who's gonna be doing the dance, the Queen dance. You know, every arc there's dancing. Moria had dancing too. The zombies all dance. Who's doing the dancing? And
Big Mom had homies that danced.
Exactly. Are we gonna see the slaves dancing? Is that what it is?
Would it be Aura if the God Knights break danced like B-boys?
With the helmets on? Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. That would be kind of.
And Emu and the Gorosei start playing music. And they're like, God Knights, hit it! And then they start like...
They just... they're DJs now? Oh my god.
Yeah. I think people would like that.
Top Musica was the last villain. Musica? Music?
Taught to dance? It's so stupid.
Dance. That's so
it's so stupid it might just work, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we're memeing, but you might need to do a poll. Who's singing, who's dancing in the last saga? Someone's doing it, guys. I don't see the Revs doing it, and then we're just like, I don't know. Is Oda just gonna make the slaves dance? Like, is that what's gonna happen? Or are the Celestial Dragons like, oh, 1, 2, 3, and then just start busting out to dance? Like, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, I've been waiting for St. Charlos like come back. If he comes back as like a beatboxer, I could see it.
Oh, you know what?
We don't really have a beatboxer in One Piece yet.
Yeah,
like, Naruto has Killer Beat. We need one.
No, you're forgetting Apu.
Who's that?
That's
Who's that
Yeah,
guy? I don't remember
I
him.
immediately I immediately regretted the last like 5-10 minutes of our like conversation once I remembered that Apu exists. I'm like,
But here's the
no.
bigger question part. Should Apu exist?
I'm about to make a crazier joke, but I I here's how about this? Would you trade Apu for Yarouge?
Two characters I generally don't like. I'd rather have a Rouge.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I feel like Yarouge is he'll only be bad when we get him. The fact that we haven't gotten him is why it's like, yeah, he's better
Yeah,
than Apu. We saw what
he's
we
better
got
than
with Apu.
Apu. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I think I also just have a disdain for a lot of music. So it's like Apu was just never my favorite, dude.
Well, like Killer Bee, I liked Killer Bee, and Apu just didn't feel like that. And in the manga, I don't think manga readers like care about Apu one way or the other. I was anime only first, so I saw Apu and I experienced it. I'm like, this just, what is this? Is this Timu Killer Bee? Like, what are we doing?
Are we gonna get Apu
And
back soon?
like I said, I'd much rather trade Yarouge for Apu. The problem with Apu is Oda gave him like a musical fruit. And the memes aside, guys, like I'd be hard pressed to say that there isn't music in the last saga. Like Oda's definitely going to make some musical thing. Like we have to learn about Bink Sake. There's so many
Oh my
other things.
god. Like just
Yeah.
imagine already. You hear the drums of liberation and like, oh, Loopy's coming, but it's actually just the poo over the hills.
I might close that chapter and just like, hey guys, let's cover JJK this week. Like,
Yeah.
time to binge read Kagurabachi from the
Guys,
start.
time to do crossword puzzles.
Yeah,
Anything
Sudoku
but this.
anybody? Yeah,
I mean,
straight
they
up,
also
like,
gave Apu a connection of Big News Morgan's near the end
yeah,
of
yeah, that's
Wano, so it's
true.
like he could realistically just come back and be Vivi's savior.
This is my line, right? Like, I'm actually being serious about this. Like, I will close the chapter. Is if we get like a clickbait kind of situation, and what I mean by that is like if the man marked by flames, right? If we get any kind of mysterious character that has any bearing to the story and Oda's creating anticipation, and then we get like a silhouette reveal, slow reveal, and it's a poo, I'm closing that chapter.
Oh,
If
dude, if the man marked by flames is Apu, that'd be so funny. Like, imagine,
I
and then the marked by flames line is because Apu wears like, I don't know, flame cosplay whenever he's at home.
no, it's because his music is so fire. Oh,
Oh, that's a better way to put it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
God,
Cooking,
yeah. No, like if there's
man.
anything in the future that's close to that, then I'm just saying, kind of like when we got to Elbaph, right? Everyone was like, "Who's the silhouette? Who's the guy on the saw Crocus?" And then it's like Shiki or Scopper, whatever. If we get any form of that, where people serious Par, who do you think it is? And we spend time, people super chat and whatever, and then 10 chapters, a half a year later it's a poo. I'm closing that chapter. I like it. That's
One of the worst reveals possible? Maybe, guys, maybe.
yeah. I'm gonna read that chapter offline and then turn the stream back on after and be like, what? Who's a poo, guys?
Yeah.
Whoa, new character.
Uh,
Crazy.
so, guys, we're gonna start reading fairy tale now. I'm gonna start making fairy tale theories. So join me on this little fun adventure. Ha ha ha. So any last words for good old Pizza Maru's Bon Clay cover page? Not too
I mean,
much.
other than Bon Clay is I think the most anticipated character of like pre-time
Oh
skip
yeah,
returns.
everybody loves Bon
And
Clay. There's not a single person
yeah.
out there who hates Bon Clay.
Yeah, it's so hard to because it's like other than like Zoro and Sanji, there aren't characters that went to the length that he did and like understood everything and like went through everything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's there. It's crazy. And so I don't know what these last few cover stories have meant, but like if Oda's bringing Bon Clay anytime soon, oh my God,
He knows we're waiting
that'll be a
for it.
hype chapter. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it is literally it's one of those canon events that's waiting on the sidelines, like Impel Down 2.0. Everybody knows it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. There's no way it doesn't. Oda's already talked about doing it in a movie, even because that was like one of Film Red's original ideas before Top Music and Uta. Or no,
Mhm.
Uta was a part of it, but Uta's music inspired the prisoners to break out or something silly like that. So it's like,
I haven't seen that interview
yeah,
probably.
Artur tweeted about it back like shortly after Film Red came out. It was like one of like the it was like the producers talked about it. Like they had a lot of like early ideas for Film Red. That was one of them. And Impel Down was actually a flying prison in the movie because it got
Oh, I
upgraded.
remember that now. Yeah,
Yeah.
now I know.
Which if that was the case,
Yeah, I
then
mean,
it definitely would have negated the whole like, hey, the waters are rising plot line. So who knows? Maybe
to
that's what they do
to that
now.
extent, yeah, I mean, to that extent, Oda has kind of a template for the last from Wano, Egghead. I would say Zoe kind of it doesn't really count because it's so short in comparison. But like Wano, we get create all the build up. We get the Odin, like we get a like a flashback, and then we leave. We leave the thing for a little bit, and it's like we get the world, and then we got into the Odin flashback. So it's like we just got the flashback here, and so it's like maybe Oda does something like that and then gives us a world view. And going back to Egghead, that was exactly what happened too. Right before Saturn Kizaru made landfall and it was the major fight, we knew the setup was there. We knew
Yeah.
that they dispatched the largest fleet in history on Luffy. And then we left. And then we saw the Revs. We saw, Law, Kid, we saw everything. And so right now is a prime time for Oda to do that on Elbaph. And that's the major thing, right? Emu's presence changes the dynamic of everything because Emu is will always be priority number one of a character. Imagine switching off of priority number one and covering other things. We've never had a situation like that. Like when I think about Egghead, it's like, yeah, with Gorsei, but we're going to Blackbeard and Shanks. But I'm not saying that I like Emu more than Blackbeard or Shanks, but Emu is definitively higher up on that priority when we're talking about like, switching off. I can't imagine Oda on a debut of Emu like switching off of that. But it also feels like something Oda might do, especially because of the setup with Marriage Law being on fire. And so, depending
But
on
even
the
then,
next,
Emu still is taking center stage, because that is Emu's
yeah,
home. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it definitely depends on the scope. I think with Egghead, he had a lot more sprawling fingers in the sense of like we knew where everyone was going because Wano had us track where Law was going, where Kid was going, and then by Sword and Garp, and we were following that. Oda didn't necessarily do that as much at the end of Egghead, right? We know that Shanks and Blackbeard are en route to something, but not necessarily like why or who or what. It's a lot less like anticipated than after Wano was. So yeah, I'm curious. I feel like Oda might do like a few chapter break, not break, but like going
to
off the
Impel
marriage
Down, to
rod.
Bond Clay, this is a hint.
Some Yeah, or yeah, something like that. I mean, they're stirring there too, right? That was actually set up was Weevil and Green Bull going there. And then the Beast Pirates possibly Doflamingo being. I think Doflamingo is obviously the most important thing, given the Celestial Dragon, given the secret treasure, right? There's so many things that Doflamingo, if he was released today, he will change all of 2026, like guaranteed. Like
He needs a
Doflamingo
buff
is.
though, because like at this point, Luffy should theoretically be able to one shot him. So hopefully he gets like a little
Yeah,
power
yeah.
boost.
The problem is we can't Iroh him because we've seen him literally chained hand, ankles stretched out, right? Like I don't think
Yeah,
he
probably worse
even
than
has an
Loki's
opportunity.
position, I would say.
Yeah, no, straight up. Like, and he's he's probably not even getting good food. You know what I mean? Like Loki could just hire one of the smelly people to. Were they smelly? I forget what they were. The sad
They
people,
were
the cloak
smelly.
people.
Yeah, they were
Oh, smelly.
smelly.
I was like, why did I remember that they were smelly? That's kind of messed up. But no, they
Yeah,
were
it's to
smelly.
like
Yeah.
avoid the animals in the forest or something like that, so they don't get eaten.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he could eat one of his animals or get one of the animals to bring him an animal. Doflamingo can't do that. He couldn't even get a newspaper, bro.
I mean, you
He
never
had
know.
people
Maybe he
read to
was
him.
mentally training.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Luffy hits him nowadays, and he's like, "Oh, the reason I tanked it is because I mentally prepared." That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Doflamingo, yeah, you're right though. Because like Crocodile is easy to like scale up. We haven't seen him mad long.
Yeah, but
Doflamingo
Doflamingo,
is
it's like
out
that was
there.
post time skip though, so it's like we kind of saw what he could do. I don't know.
And I don't even care about what he can do. I think was more detriment to bringing him back is his reactions to Jack and like
Kaido,
people that we
like,
don't
oh,
really.
Kaido would
Kaido,
never
yeah,
kill me. I gotta stop Law. I mean, Kaido would just destroy everything I got. It's like, yeah, Luffy's
yeah.
probably gonna cook him too at this point.
Yeah, like Kaido is an exception, but like we have Zoro dealing damage, doing stuff, and it's like, I would think that people would have Doflamingo above Zoro at Dressrosa, right? Like, so it's like if that doesn't
I don't
scale
know
through and you have,
anymore. I can't tell if it's like
yeah,
because so much time
now,
has passed. No, like
yeah,
I think now that people are well past Dressrosa, I was talking about like, oh, like if Luffy didn't beat Doflamingo, who would step in? Would it be Sambo or Fujitora? There were a good
hmm
amount of people who said, oh, Zoro would actually beat Doflamingo. I'm like, oh, really? Like that's how much the narrative has shifted. Like, damn, like people think
that's
Dressrosa's Zoro
interesting.
would actually win. I don't hate it because Zoro didn't like go extreme diff against Pika. Like he was still decently there,
hmm
and we never really saw Zoro's like upper limit until Wano even. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
I think the
know.
main discrepancy is like it wasn't flat out at Dressrosa, but in hindsight, the Conqueror's hockey presence is actually a deal. When Zoro has it, but he didn't know how to use it. And Luffy and Doflamingo were clashing, and it was visible. Like Treble was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, these are two kings," and so like in hindsight, especially with today's like how hard Conqueror's hockey leverages the story. Going back to it, it's essentially Doflamingo kind of would be if you can't even muster up Conqueror's hockey, that's kind of where you're stuck, right? And that is a significant point to, we didn't see a. I mean, Don Zhao is an example, but like we if Luffy was turned into a doll, could he escape it? You know what I mean? Like, is Conquerors what's super necessary? We know Danjin Zhao, has incredible hockey, but might have been in a state where he wasn't using it, but Oda probably wasn't going to focus on that, right? And the reality is, I would think, especially when we see Law countering, the thing, it is immense hockey. And then if you have Conquerors, it's like you probably don't even need that much hockey to break through some of these things, especially if Sugar didn't use hockey. I don't know how those contracts would work, but point is in hindsight, because Doflamingo has Conquerors hockey, it just kind of puts him just above even the closest person you have him at. And
I
I
mean,
think
to be
Sabo,
fair, Sabo didn't have Conqueror's hockey though. People think Sabo could have
yeah,
done
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think Sabo is a little interesting because Sabo is like we actually just don't know with him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Zoro, we knew that he can't do like that whole point of Dressrosa was like I'm finally using my coated blades that I can put black hockey on or whatever it is, right? And with Sabo, he just came out of nowhere. We found out he's alive. Then you know what I mean. We don't know what he's capable of now.
and he
We
was
still
bloodlusted
kind of
too.
don't. Yeah, yeah, and that's what put a Burgess into like trauma PTSD. He's afraid of that
Burgess
guy
just kept on
now.
going, man. He dug his own grave. Like, you know what? I'm gonna kill Luffy. It's like, whoa,
He
Burgess,
did.
don't say that too loudly, brother. I think he said
Yeah,
that like
yeah.
as he was like on the ground and Sabo had his like, hand on his head. It's like, Burgess, why even talk shit at this point, man? Chill.
Yeah, it was after they had clashed a bit, and it was like everything was on fire. I'm pretty sure, and then I don't think Sabo was even that mad until he started, and then he's just like, "All right, all right, time to take the kitty gloves off." And that's my
Yeah.
point. Is like Oda actually has been doing that. Sabo, like think about the Reverie. Oda literally had Sabo kind of do. I mean, yes, the Gorosei and Emu part, but I don't think that's a depiction of his power. He threw a fireball. Emu ate it. And the problem there is we don't even know how Emu ate it. We don't know what they look like. We don't know what was chasing
We know
Sabo there.
zero.
Yeah, we don't know anything about that regard in that regard. But Oda purposely had the strongest character that we know of in the Revs not fight at the Reverie. So like Oda's hiding him. I think if he gave him Conqueror's Haki, it's not that crazy. But obviously
Ooh.
at Dressrosa, it's like, yeah, if he doesn't have Conqueror's Haki, then he would lose, I think.
One last thing. But Sabo, he would leave the Revs for Luffy, though, right? Like, if Luffy was in trouble, Sabo would just, like, drop everything and go. He did say that, like, back during Dressrosa. He said, hey, like, no matter what, like, no matter where the Revs are, I'm gonna, like, drop everything and come over. I realize that some people don't think that he'd actually do that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like he would. Yeah. Because there were some people in the comment section of that video. Not a lot of people, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But some people were like, oh, like, actually, I don't think Sabo would really leave the Revs. It's like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't think he'd want to lose his last brother.
Yeah, Luffy is...
He's the one who dropped the line.
Body.
Yeah.
Luffy... And the difference, though, is like Wano was the last chance, in my opinion, right? So many people had the theory that one of the times that Luffy was, like, basically killed, that, like, Sabo would show up, right? Because that's what he said. And there were other reinforcements. It's the perfect chance to put a international spy into one of these, or like if he was on the Cypher Pole ship that was like coming in, and then you just see like a bright flame. What was that? And you just see like a rocket go in there, like a shooting star.
That'd be cool.
They don't know. That would be Sabo, right? And the problem is now is post Nika, post Joy Boy, if Luffy's ever close to dead, I'm sorry, I don't think Sabo is gonna fix that situation, At most, Sabo is gonna show up and run away. And we know he's good at that. We know he escaped the Gorosei and Emu, but it's not the same thing as like, what we'd expect. Saving. Yeah, like saving and avenging kind of situation, all in one thing. Like if Sabo showed up on rooftop, and Kaido's just like laughing, and then you see it's like, there's 3 brothers you have to fight, and then Sabo just like spawns an ace, and Kaido's like, what the hell? And then Sabo just like Oda just randomly has Ace say all the things that he wanted to say if he had fought Kaido. Like we could have milked that, but obviously that's a little silly. But point is that now with Gear 5 in the mix, it's like, okay, Luffy's about to die. How do we fix that? Force feed him, just stuff food down his throat.
The thing with Sambo is that he wasn't the only person that people were expecting to possibly see at Wano. It was also the Grand Fleet, because it's like, yo, what was the Vivid card doing back then? Because that's the thing. The Grand Fleet and Sambo all have Luffy's Vivid card. Luffy did, for all intents and purposes, pretty much die. So what did the Vivid card say? Was it burning or was it like fine? We don't know.
I was one of the people that, like, as an option, Grand Fleet made a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of what's the responsibility to do so? Sabo literally, like, verbatim said, if you're like, his only way to know Luffy's dying is that Viva card. Surely that Viva card was in tatters at some point at Wano.
It was like bouncing around at least a little bit.
Yeah. And so the difference though with the Grand Fleet is that Luffy did say like, I don't need your help, but if you need my help, just say, and we're all together. And he's like, if we ever need it, sure. But like, you're also like, you guys are choosing this on your own. I'm not telling you guys to do this, so it is a little bit different, but also on the back end, it's like if the Grand Fleet, like, oh, let's go save Luffy. And then it's like pointing towards Wano. It's like, yeah, all right, guys, we can't help him. Like, what are we going to do against Kaido?
No, the Grand Fleet would say, we got it, dude. Because, like, against Doflamingo, everybody from the Coliseum, they said, yeah, I'm going to take him down.
They might do it for
confident,
Usopp.
Man.
They might do it for Usopp more than Luffy, because Usopp's their god savior, right?
Yeah, he's the one who freed them.
If Barto was on rooftop, Do you think his barrier? How many? Do you think his barrier could stop the Hokoku sovereignty that hit Zoro?
Mm, no, no.
Not even once. Not even
I
once.
mean, that's the thing, right? Barto's barrier should be unbreakable. Oh, Odin was over here hitting it with hockey. It wasn't working. We know that Shanks got around it. Shanks got around that barrier. I think Kaido and Big Mom definitely could.
Yeah. I just like I think that obviously he's beatable, right? He wasn't like immortal even on Dressrosa, but that barrier, bro,
The barrier
that
is
barrier
crazy, though.
scaled up with like what's the guy? No, not Sentimaru. It's something with an S. The old Higurashi brother husband guy,
Oh, yeah,
whatever his
that
name
guy.
is.
Yeah, I don't know his
He
name.
had the he had the barrier fruit. And so and then that guy's old. Like, how is he holding back Odin, right? If it's not like the skill and power of the manifestation of the fruit isn't based off of the person. That's an insane depiction that this old dude holding back Odin. And it's like I would think that Barto would be able to hold back Odin better. If that's how he did it. So and then yeah, like Odin, some people have Odin Brago had Odin above Kizaru, right? So like Odin having conquerors, Odin being a swordsman, he couldn't break through, and he was doing it bloodlusted. He was doing it
Yeah.
because his wife got shot in the knee or whatever,
And it's
died.
because, like, he
And
just
so
realized
he
his father was, quote, dead, so.
yeah, that too. Everything, every circumstance. That's like the hypothetical scenario that his father's dead, his mom, his
Yeah.
wife is shot. Like, imagine
Type of shit
Luffy,
you see in, like,
but
a death
everybody
battle.
died. Who wins now? Like that's what people mean when they say bloodlust. And Odin was there and he couldn't break it. So, it is kind of curious. I would imagine that he could block it once, but then he's just like somehow he's just winded and he can't put up another
How about
barrier.
this? I
Something like
feel like
that.
if Odin had, like, 3 more good hits, I think he could do it. If he just put his back into it, he could probably break the barrier.
Yeah. I feel like
Because he didn't
if
use a
he
named attack against it. He simply just bang, 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 and that was it.
I think if he had a running start.
A running start. All right, how
Yeah.
about this? How about this? Do we know if Odin ate dinner that day? Was he
You're
hungry?
right.
Famished?
Bloodlusted but starving. You're right. That is a crazy
Yeah. It like negates itself, right? You're bloodlusted, but you're hungry. It's like, I mean, are you even bloodlusted then?
You
The
know
blood's
what's
going to your
funny?
cock, man.
Oh my god. We actually do have like a metric reference for starvation, which is Luffy on Whole Cake Island. That starved Luffy that beat all of Big Mom's kids and army.
Yeah. Now
That's
imagine,
not
like,
bloodlusted, that's
full
just starved.
Luffy.
Yeah.
Luffy would have won.
That- yeah, and it wasn't just starved Luffy. It was like depressed, beaten up Luffy, like abandoned
I'm
Luffy
almost there in
post
the anime,
breakup.
too. I'm so excited.
Yeah. That was one of the because he lost a crewmate, you know what I mean? Like, and he
Yeah.
was waiting, and that's like post breakup Luffy. Actually, no, does that do more? It's like you go to the gym post breakup. That's
No,
supposed to be your
no.
no,
You don't
that's
have a will to live.
different because
You're looking for a place to die at that point.
yeah, because that's and also it wasn't just like a girl, it was his like best friend, right? That's also
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and it if he went through it alone, it's different. But he had a girl watching too. You know how that changes, right? Like, like when you're playing basketball and
yeah,
then you
Nami was
make all the
there.
threes. And it's like, oh, his crush must be watching. Like Nami saw that shit. Luffy couldn't
Uh,
even beat it with his crush watching.
dude, I just realized we BS for like 50 minutes. We're not even in the chapter. It's time. This is like prime egghead days when we talked about sukiyaki for like 50 minutes, and somehow we were talking about sukiyaki too. That's
Our
crazy.
our famous words before we'll knock it out an hour. There's no way we
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
We
this
came into
chapter.
this. We were like, yeah, it's like hour and a half. It shouldn't be too
Yeah.
long. Okay, so let's speedrun this. We got the chapter here. We're going up to the Sun Realm, and Scopper hits us with some brand new information. I love it.
Brand new.
Brand new. We hear that there is a god knight, a woman, who uses arrow powers, and the children cannot do anything to resist it. They're just walking forward. And apparently, the goal of the God Knights is to load them onto a boat.
Only 10 kids. I didn't know their mission was 10 kids. That felt such a weird thing to specify, considering we saw them try to go after more. But no, apparently 10 is the max. I don't know why, but 10 is what they want.
I think it's like one classroom size. Like there's another classroom they were gonna take if like this didn't work or something.
Yeah, but their class had a lot of kids.
I only counted 10. You gotta imagine these are big kids. They count for like 3 kids in like our school or something.
Yeah. But they didn't get the biggest kids either, right? I think there are other big kids.
Yeah, we're talking about like middle schoolers and high schoolers at that point. We don't want them.
Okay, but if they didn't get Yarl's great granddaughter or whatever, the kids would probably, besides Colin, right? But he's the original 9. The OG 9, right? If they didn't have Ronya, they would probably be screwed.
Ronya, is that Yarl's great granddaughter or is it Ylva?
Oh no, wait, that's that one.
Yeah, it's Ylva.
I mixed it up because you kept on mixing it up when we covered it.
I never mixed it up.
I
literally have never mixed it up before. You're just making making stuff up now.
No. We have it. I'm pretty sure there's an entire Parcast, like 4 hours, where you're like until the very end, we're like, wait a second, that wasn't even Ronya, that was Ylva.
Dude, all these giant kids look the same. Can we just admit that?
I like how you backed up.
Can't
even
blame
if
us,
I
dude.
did mess it up, who the
yeah. Damn. Okay, let's say I did mess it up. Who cares? They're giant kids. They're not human. Yeah.
Okay, so we have Viz translations. This translation is disgusting. It says, okay, so TCB. Sorry, obviously, we're memeing here. We knew all this stuff, guys. All right.
Wait, what?
The line here. They just keep marching toward the West Village Harbor. It's all over if they reach a ship and escape to sea. It'll all come down to that. So, like, it's all over if they reach a ship and escape to sea. The way it's said there is kind of just like, okay, if they make it there, it'll be very hard, or, we might not have ships. They might take out. There's so many different ways that's impactful and it could be done. Versus the Viz said, if they get to the boat, they can lose us at sea and then it's all over. And I'm thinking like, wait, but you guys are the pirates, aren't you? Guys, they can't lose you at sea.
Oh, I know why.
Why?
I know why. It's because, hear me out. It's because among the God Knights is the man marked by flames. Out on the open seas, they'll create a whirlpool, and we can't follow them.
Yeah, but we have Jinbei. We have the first son of the sea. The strongest fisherman in the verse.
That's a good thing,
unless we find out that the man marked by flames is a fisherman, which I would love because that's my major part of my theory. And he's stronger than Jinbei. The reality is, though, there could be, because remember back in the day, I think it was in Arlong Park or something. There was like myths, like, oh my God, it said that the fishermen, they can conjure up a maelstrom or whatever.
They were talking about
and I'm like,
man.
Who? We've never seen any, like, what are you talking about? Thunderstorms too? Like, it might turn out that the Holy Knights have at their disposal the mythical fishmen, like the first fishmen.
The primordial fishmen.
Yeah. Like, Jinbei's the first son. We don't know who's the first sperm donor.
Well, that's Barbell, but yeah.
Barbell might be the first uncle.
The uncle of the sea.
Just
give it to him. The uncle of the sea.
We don't know. Yeah. He might be Uncle Tommy. You know what I'm saying? He might not be.
We don't really know how the God Knights will fight on the open seas. Like, maybe Scopper knows something, right? Because they showed up and fought the Roger Pirates pretty often. Maybe Scopper does have like insider information. Like, like the minute they touch water, the God Knights are unstoppable.
That is an interesting point now I think about it. How did the Holy Knights find the Roger Pirates so often? Isn't that kind of hard to do? Like, Roger and Whitebeard hadn't seen each other for like 20 years when they had Odin, right? Or mad long. It's been a long time. That means they never crossed paths. Like, so how do you find the Roger Pirates? That's you don't cracked.
You haven't heard the theories?
Oh, what's the theories?
The theory is that there's a few God Knights that have world level observation hockey.
Oh,
So they can detect every single living being on this planet.
Yeah, and that's why the Davy clan still exists, even though Emu can single
No,
them
no, no, no,
out.
no. They were living in a black spot.
That sounded kind of racist, but
I think that's what it's called.
Just because
right?
they're Davy? Just because they're Davy clan? It's
you can't get any information from that island. Like that's their
Blackbeard is from there
area where you can't just like use your observation hockey. That's why Garling lost. He wasn't able to use observation hockey during God Valley.
I was gonna say, what are the chances that they made a Shanks Weaver card?
I think like pretty high. It's just one of those things that I feel like they could just add in and we just accept it. Like, oh yeah, by the way, they found him because they had a Shanks Vivery card. Like, sure. I'm not gonna silly, but why not?
Weaver cards are so interesting because like for me, like that's like mandatory. Like have a son, Weaver card immediately. Why wouldn't I? If that technology exists,
son, wife, daughter, everybody, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like Wapool made money off of like toys that he made. It's easier than that. There's something in existence that for some reason is not on any island that we've been on like a staple for it. There's no island that we've been to where they're like, oh yeah, everybody has a Weaver card. You know, like where are Weaver cards from and why aren't they more popular? And I would be rich off of them like immediately.
I love how Oda has not shown us how it's done, by the way. Like, I forgot what it was. Like, it was in Zoe. Nekamamushi was like, yeah, by the way, I'm just going to make a Vivery card real quick. It's like, yeah, cool. Nice. We just never see it.
Lola told us it was like, you need nail clippings or whatever.
Yeah, and Sabo also made it in Dressrosa in like the span of like 1 day. He's like, hey, here you go.
Yeah, like every Rev should have a Vivery card, right? That's not something that we've necessarily...
I feel like every crew should just have it. Not even the Revs.
When the Revs were worried about Sabo, they...
Oh, you're so right. They were worried about Sabo and like, oh, is he alive? Is he dead? Dude, if you had a Vivery card, you wouldn't have to worry. Same with Vivi, right? Like, if the Straw Hats had a Vivery card, I mean, they wouldn't have to worry about her. Like, oh, no, she's fine.
I give that's so early, we didn't even really know. But you're right. Like, essentially, like...
No, okay, it's so early, but... That's also when we saw Vivery cards for the first time, because that's where we got Ace. Ace gave us the very first Vivery card. That was Alabasta.
Yeah, and Alabasta being one of the 20 kingdoms and a world government affiliated thing. Like, it's not like we're in like Lil Garden or some like backwaters place. Like, it's so interesting because like the Revs, like one of the reasons why I felt like Baltigo, the Revs headquarters, was someplace that like Dragon apparently never like really left, at least in the post like Kuma timeline. I would think that there's like secrets that they have there and a safe of their top commanders' Weaver cards. Like that was a major issue, right? Burgess was a stowaway and he was on Baltigo. The way they found it was because he had a Weaver card made of him. Why are the Blackbeard pirates more organized, using more of the utility? It feels like a plot device at this point,
right? Like if Oda wants them to know where they're at, just give them a Weaver card off screen. If he doesn't want people to know, just, hey, don't even mention it.
I'm so dumbfounded because I made, I think 2 videos that really focused in on why, like, the whole point of Baltigo being hidden and all that stuff for 20 years, and it was never found until that Weaver card. And in no point in making those videos, I never thought, wait, why don't they have a Sabo Weaver card? Like, it's kind of interesting.
That feels like one of those questions that'll keep you up at night. Like, you're listening to a YouTube and it's like a YouTube video. It's like, oh, scary stories at 3 a.m. Oh, why do the Revs not have Vivery cards? I don't know.
You know what I'm thinking now? You know what I'm thinking? Like, because Sabo, here's the other thing. Sabo made it so quickly and gave it out.
Everybody made it quick. Dude, Ace literally made it while they're traveling in the desert. He said, hey guys, I made a Luffy Vivery card. See you later.
Yeah. And like,
what?
And like, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe Dragon does have Sabo's card. So like when Koala's like, "Oh my God, is he alive? Is he dead?" Dragon just like kind of like looks in his pocket, kind of like Kira or Light in
Ah,
when he's just like has the paper pull out of his watch and he's just like writing backwards. Like Dragon's straight doing that. It's like, is he okay? Yeah, he's. Don't worry, Koala. It'll be fine. Trust me.
yeah, it was
Meanwhile,
all
he
off
just has
screen.
the fever card. Yeah. He just knows. Maybe that's the same thing with Kuma, right? He doesn't care about Kuma because he has his Fever card. That's a character we should have a Fever card because I'd want to see if it's fully burnt up, you know?
And then there's also Ivankov. What if Dragon was like, actually, I don't know where Ivankov's been all these years. They're in Impel Down?
Bro, this is my problem, right? Ivankov was like in Impel Down for what, like 20 years or something? Like
We're just adding more and more years every time we talk about Ivankov. First, it was like, Ivankov was there for like a 2-3 years. Now it's like 20.
it was not two, it was because wait, how long was it? It wasn't 2 3.
We don't know how long Ivankov's been in there.
It has to be more than 8, right? Because Kuma's flashback was when Luffy was Bonnie was 10, and then the 4 years before that, like, Ivankov left like when Ginny came back, I think, right? So then
No. We saw Ivankov on the ship. Did we see Ivankov on the ship?
no, Ivankov was gone, I think. I'm pretty sure
Ivankov
by
wasn't
then.
on the ship. So yeah, Ivankov got imprisoned for quite some time. I would love it if we get just some dialogue where Dragon's like, I have no idea where Ivankov is.
Yeah, Ivankov isn't on 1099.
Man, Dragon is, he's got some crazy plans, dude. I can't imagine Luffy doing that. Like, hey, Nami's in Impel Down. Well, I mean, just give it like 10 years. She'll break out somehow. Like, damn, dude, that's tough, man. No, like Dragon, like during Zoe, Luffy's like, oh guys, before we fight Kaido, I need to save Sanji. If it was Dragon, he'd be like, damn, man, that sucks. All right, let's go to Wano. Let's keep on going, man. Dude, I love just reading the Viz translations. Sommers is a man with the powers of the Thorn no Mi. As a Thorn man, he makes free use of vicious, spiky vines.
He can freely manipulate vines with sharp thorns. Like even that translation, when I read that, I was just like on top of the fact that we already know this information, it felt like I was getting mansplained Sommers a little bit when I saw this. And then when I see the Viz one, he makes free use of vicious spiky vines. It feels worse. It feels worse than the original
I mean,
one.
this whole thing of Scopper like telling everybody what's up with the God Knights, I get it. I feel like this isn't even for us at this point. It's mainly just for the people there.
Yeah. I mean, it is there, but like I said on stream, this isn't the information. Like for the New Giant Pirates, sure. I don't know what their tier is, but like for the Straw Hats, there's not a they don't care about devil fruits. They don't care. They were fighting Seraphim without knowing what they were like for so long, and then Zoro's like, "Oh yeah, I know what they are. The races." It's like we just fight and figure it out, right? Like the thing that they need to know is the immortality. That's the thing, and Scopper seemingly knows that part, and that's like. Scopper, I hate to tell you, we don't need to know the information you found out 5 minutes ago. We need to know the information you knew over the course of Shanks' life when they tried to abduct him and you sandbox killed them. Like that's the info we need.
But I mean,
sure
hey, he hasn't really seen Gunko or Killingham, so he doesn't have a lot of information to give.
Yeah, like it's even funny. He doesn't like this information is something the moment let's say Luffy is in the sky. That guy has sharp, thorny vine powers. You know how I know? He's using them. You know what I mean? It'll take a second for them to get the info that Scopper just said, which is why it's like, yeah, I know they're telling them because they haven't experienced it. I'm talking to the commenters who are extra harsh on us being harsh, but like this is specifically just silly for them. It's like
no. Hear me out though. I know another reason why Scopper did this. It's to kill time. That elevator ride must be grueling. Imagine the first minute of being on that elevator, it was dead silent. So Scopper said, let me just make conversation.
There's no elevator music.
Yeah. So Scopper took it upon himself to just really, start yapping. If anything, I respect it. Good on you,
You know, it's
Scopper.
actually fair because Scopper wanted to say this last chapter. Hiredin's here, and he's just like, well, Hiredin told me not to say this. And then so maybe he opened up like, so you guys want to hear about the Holy Knights now? Like it's kind of like that's how he brought it back up.
Yeah,
Like
that makes
because
sense.
we come in kind of mid conversation. The first thing, our foes number 3. It's like that's definitely not the first words he said. Yeah, he didn't start there. Maybe he did. Oh my god, maybe he did explain the immortality. It's just before this thing, and we're gonna get a flashback to the first minutes of the elevator ride.
So, guys, about that immortality. Da, blah, 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 blah. So, our opponent's number 3.
Yeah,
Now time
yeah.
to tell you about their
And
abilities.
yeah, we're gonna get Zoro's like, huh, this is what Scopper talked about, their immortality. We're like, what? Scopper talked about that, and Zoro has a flashback to the moment. We're like, didn't we see all this? Why didn't we hear this then? And it's like, oh, it was the first minute of the elevator ride. I started on minute 2.
So, when they're done with this elevator, they
uh,
get to the Sun Realm, and Hiradin, he has an interesting little look-see at that dragon, Nidhogg. Do
oh,
you think that is a hint that Loki is indeed Nidhogg or a dragon? For me, I've always kind of leaned towards dragon. I don't think it's going to be Nidhogg, but yeah, like,
hmm.
did you look at that panel and were you like, oh my god, Oda's back at it again?
I did not. But when I think someone super chatted specifically, they pointed it out and I looked at it and it convinced me. I'm like, oh my god, this is true. And then I was like, wait a second. Hiredin shouldn't even know what he looks like.
No, Hiradin could. He could.
How? When, where, how?
It did say
Did
that after
Shanks
Shanks
bring
after Shanks brought Loki back, they tried to crucify and execute Loki, but Loki fought back, and that's when it took all of Elbaph to subdue him. So maybe Loki whipped it out then.
wait, what? They said that?
Yeah, because I went back and a lot of people were like
Which
arguing
happens?
about like the whole Shanks and Loki thing, because they're like, oh,
Mhm.
Shanks needed all of Elbaph to help him. And it's, I don't think that's
Yeah.
what it was. So I went back to check. It is the chapter where they first talk about Loki. It's like 11:30 something. I think 11:31 or 11:30. It's 11:30. Okay. I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm
11:31 is when
scrolling. Here
Loki
it
gets
is.
introduced.
It started back while our captains were missing. Elbaph has another prince. He's devoted himself to darkness, and a few years ago, he was sentenced to crucifixion. He tried to flee, but we warriors all came together to capture him.
Yeah. Wait a second. Yeah, like I hadn't had time to go back and see this, but I remember like bits and pieces of the stuff and it like not lining up to the some of the other things. So that's kind of interesting because I thought it was that Shanks just beat him out at sea and then brought him back and then tied him up. But yeah, now I mention it and I look back, that's what they said. Like,
So it's like, yeah, Shanks brought him
huh.
back, and then they also fought Loki again because they didn't want to get chained up or crucified or killed. That's my assumption. Could be wrong, but yeah.
Here's the issue, right? There's two parts to what I'm about to say. The first one was something that I constantly talked about with Hiredin, which is that like this story that Loki offered him having come out now, it just like you could have asked him this entire time when he was chained up to the thing. You could why didn't you ask him before? Like Hiredin specifically. I don't care like especially, after the flashback. It's like I don't necessarily care for everybody else, but Hiredin has like a reason to vet out the truth, whether he's there to, sway public opinion, that's separate, right?
Yeah.
But like the in terms of that and what Elbaph is afraid of, I would like it if they weren't afraid of a blind mythical story, right? Of Loki destroying the castle, beating his dad, and the thing. It's like that's a mythical thing. Who could have done that? It stuck a sword in Yorul's head, right? Yarl's head. And it's like, I would like it if they saw Loki and how powerful he was, and they like this is the only option, right? But as far as like As far as where Loki's at, bro. Listen. What was 11:30? What did they say? They said he nearly escaped his punishment. It took all of our warriors to get him under control. All the giant warriors of Elbaph together. Listen, guys, I don't know how to say this, but like I really haven't seen a giant that gives me any concern. You put 50, like, bro, what are we talking about? These giants are losing to a Draugr nightmare. Like, some of these giants can't even, it doesn't matter if all of Elbaph, why would that change something when we see Loki single-handedly with sea stone chains on him blast through 3 realms of Elbaph, and he could have just killed Hiredin right then and there.
Maybe Loki was holding back. He's like, okay, I don't want to kill these guys. Like, these are my father's people.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying that, like, I don't, like, would Loki have pulled out the dragon and been like, I could have beat your ass? But for them to say, like, it took all of our warriors to get him under control, if the reality was that Loki, like, let them win, and he did it in such a way that they thought they did win, all right, that's cinema. Okay, I'll accept. I love that. I just saw a video with that.
Oh. Yeah, no.
What?
Loki turns around. It's like, oh, this must be a kingdom of warriors.
That, you know what? That
That's
unironically would be the way that Loki would instigate a desire to be warriors still, right? Be the boogeyman, right? Like, that does seem like what Loki would do, right? If I want them to be warriors, I didn't take the throne. They think I'm a villain already, so let me just poke the bear, and and let's get them agitated. Let's get them mobilized. That I kind of like that now. And then, like, Loki's just like, he sees all of them militarized. Like, they finally coordinated an effort to take him down. And he did the Scopper thing. When Scopper did that with Luffy and Zoro, he's just like, all right, I've seen enough now.
But if Loki also didn't whip out his form during that battle, then maybe he simply just described it to Hiredin. Like, maybe Hiredin goes down, and then Loki's like, Hiredin, let me tell you about our father's death. And then Hiredin's like, no. What's your devil fruit, man? I gotta know. And then he just describes it like, well, it's a dragon and it's got teeth and yeah, it's big. It does this, does that.
I'm imagining like Loki in dragon form letting like all the giants, like the fighters, grab a hold of like his arm, and they're like, heave, and it like doesn't move him. But Loki's like, oh. And he's like acting like, oh my god, they're so strong, and then like they suplex him or something, and he's like, oh, you guys took me out of my Nidhogg form. Ah, shit, you guys got me. Like, I mean, I think Oda obviously is gonna make that feel good, but like it is interesting that put this into context.
It makes sense.
Maybe Hiredin did see it. I mean, the other thing too is there's that line from Dressrosa where Hiredin's like, "Have you seen a giant with a Logi?" or something like that. Didn't he say something like that?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said, "Have you seen a giant with Logia?" And that's why I think a lot of people were like, maybe it's a Logia, until obviously we saw Zoan, or seemingly a Zoan. That would be crazy if it was a Logia and then Loki just first try turned it into some animal for
it
fun.
Could even be
like,
a Paramecia. Like we saw what Mr. 3 was able to do back in Little Garden. He made the wax champion. And it's like Loki could have made a wax dragon.
Yeah, we could have gotten like triple like Houdini'd. I don't know what word I was trying to say, but
hoodwinked.
Like magic trick. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Hiredin seeing it, being afraid of it.
I just hope that if it is a dragon, it just doesn't look like that. I think that's always been my thing. Even if it is Nidhogg, hopefully it doesn't look like that dragon. We've got a lot of those dragons before with Nidhogg, the cover pages, Punk Hazard, Monster. Like, I think it's time for a new dragon design.
Especially because we saw Zoro like already decapitate one of these. It kind of like loses it desensitizes.
It loses the muster.
Yeah, whereas like Kaido's dragon, the Eastern dragon, is still kind of impervious. You know what I mean? Like Luffy didn't like he jump rope. That's the most disrespectful thing. But like it's not like I look at the other dragons like, just a jump, it's just a jump rope, you know what I mean? Whereas like
Yeah,
Zoro did decapitate the huge dragon there. So it's like it kind of desensitizes
one
you,
shot.
but you know, I I also think, do you think a Hiredin went to Dressrosa? They knew it was the Maramara. It was just Luffy didn't know, right? I think the other contestants knew what fruit it was, or
Yeah, they knew it was the
they didn't know what.
Maramara.
Yeah, that's what I remember. So like, do you think that Hiredin, if let's say if it wasn't the Maramara, let's say it was another cracked fruit, but not the Maramara, what would be a good one?
It
Okay, let's
was
say
the
like
Buddha
Monet's.
fruit.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's very cracked. It's Sengoku's fruit. Do you think Hiredin would go after it, or and does that mean that the Maramara is a specific like Hiredin's like if I get the Maramara, it gives me a leg up in my fight against Loki, right? Because that was the other thing he said. I'm going to be king, and one of the reasonable things that's like mentally block is like his younger brother is cracked, insane. Everybody who looks at the Crown Prince, they think Loki, not Hiredin. You know what I mean? Like so. I kind of imagine that the Maramara played some kind of like Hiredin's like if only we had fire against Loki, unlimited fire, maybe that would have helped.
Some
But
caveman stuff.
yeah,
we, just need,
true.
we just need fire. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
mind that.
Maybe like
I mean, maybe
Loki
Loki's an
just
ice
like
dragon, you know? Like going back to like
yeah,
Niflheim, just ice-based powers.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
It'll
doubt
be
that's it,
interesting.
considering that, that's seemingly Ragnir, but yeah, in general, it's like Loki, Logia. Oh, Loki, Logia.
They do there is a
They sound
character
similar.
Loki in Norse mythology. He's like I think he was with uh Thor and Loki. I forget the story, but they were like pissed off a giant, and then they had to do like basically a Davy back fight. They basically had to do a Davy back
They
fight.
had to
There's
do a
an
bunch
eating
of
contest,
tasks.
running contest, and something else, a drinking contest, I think. And then I think Logi was the person who won, and then the next person lost, and then it was up to Thor, I guess, and he I think won or something like that. I forget. I was over the wife or something. I forget. But Logi is there, and that Logia, they do share the etymology, I guess. So, huh?
Yeah.
Could be. Could
Huh.
be.
So, what's funny about like all these nightmares coming out is that we actually got a brand new nightmare here too. First up, it's funny. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh my god, is that Nika?" It's like, guys, we saw Nika like 50 times. They literally said it verbatim.
That's so funny.
Yeah. No, I had people like saying, "Oh, Sai, but did you see Nika?" And then on Twitter, people were like, "Oh my god, is that Sun got Nika as a nightmare?" It's like, y'all, like they literally mentioned this like 3 times already. Like we've seen this
Yeah.
before. What's really
Yeah.
catching
Like they.
my eye though is
Uh,
the naked giant right next to Nika. You see that thing?
the naked giant.
To the left of
In the
Nika.
air. In the
Yeah.
air. It's
Yeah.
huge.
See,
Yeah.
that's new. See, that's something we gotta talk about.
Yeah. Like Popeyes. Was the Popeyes villain guy? He looks like that.
Popeyes had a villain?
Yeah, the guy who bullied Popeyes. He was like
Forgot about
innately
him.
strong, and then
And then Popeyes had to like eat food to beat him.
yeah, Bluto.
Wow, there's a
Yeah, Bluto
lot of
kind of.
Popeye villains. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean
Bluto.
there's
I don't even remember
Bluto.
this
Yeah,
guy.
because he wore a hat, I think a lot of times, so his top hair was black, but he had the beard, and he had that same like brawlic kind of arm
Yeah,
situation
he's
around.
just Bluto. That's so funny.
Yeah, Bluto.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just call him that. So Bluto's out there running amok. That is when Kashi, one of our favorite giants, shows up. Sadly, it looks like he's been beaten on the side. I don't know who he was fighting. Maybe one of the God Knights. And he says, Hiredin, is that you? They're like, yes, Kashi, you're alive. And this is when Kashi tells us something new. He tells us that Dorian Brogy have been Domi Reversi'd and they're trying to kill Elder Yarul. Pretty
What?
insane. And not
Next
just
thing you're
that.
telling me is that Nika's in this chapter.
No, I'm gonna do you one better, Par. Did you know that the kids of Elbaph are currently being kidnapped?
Oh my god, how many?
10. And one of them is Bjorn. And that just so happens to be Rodo's brother. That's actually new. So Rodo
Yeah,
takes off right away, dude. That's
that was cool.
crazy. Love
Yeah.
Rodo. Gerd and Goldberg go with him. And one thing that some people mention, and I thought this was kind of interesting, because we don't see it afterwards, but in the panels beforehand, we see that Gerd has Scopper and Chopper in her hand. And then when she runs off, people are wondering if Scopper and Chopper are going with them too in Gerd's hand, or if she just dropped him off. And I have no idea. I wouldn't mind it. I think it makes sense considering, kids are injured. Scopper's son is there. Sure. I say send him along.
Her shirt is unzipped, and so that we know Oda typically puts people in Yamato. Guys,
Yep.
it's Chopper. Chopper is A1 priority. Put him with women's soft things, and then Oda can sell them like hotcakes.
Yeah.
And then you'll see the girls doing the same thing with Chopper at the convention. So I mean, like, either they're crushed in her fist as she sprints, or they're in her shirt. But the thing is, they could be anywhere. Like, we've seen Robin and Chopper were hiding from Sommers in Saul's hair as he was like beating him senseless.
I mean, dude, we've had
in the fight,
so many shenanigans. Like the freaking thing where Sanji was skywalking last chapter, and he's on the elevator this chapter. Oh, Hiredin, guys, go ahead. We're gonna listen to Loki's backstory. Cut over, they're all like right beside him. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna like suspend disbelief. For all we know, Scopper and Chopper could be at Eni's lobby right now, and I just believe it. Like, yeah, sure, why not? You're telling me they're back in paradise? Yeah, fair enough. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I do. Rodo. Yeah, we got introduced to the Elbaph with Rodo, and I think it's always been a thing with Rodo. Like, whether or not people like him as a character, I think people want something from him, and I'm curious what Oda does with Rodo. Well, like a plot point, some meaning to what he did at the whole Lego thing. Remember, we thought that like we were on a different dimension. Some people thought we didn't even make it to Elbaph.
Oh my god, what a time to be alive with that.
Yeah. Oh, Luffy's axe disappeared. I don't want to.
People are bringing back the Elbaph, absent theory. They're like, but actually, maybe this isn't real. I mean, have you seen? I mean, Sanji's just on the elevator now. Like, okay, guys, this. I'm pretty sure they're memeing now, but back in the day, man, that theory was something. It was definitely something.
Rodo was cosplaying as the sun god. We're in this arc that centralizes around like figuring out what that means, the mural, all that stuff. And like the little brother thing is cool. I guess we're gonna see bloodlusted Rodo, right?
Whatever that looks like.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly whatever that looks like. And then like, does that translate to later on in the story or later on in the arc? Is he now like the primary, aside from Hiredin, is he like the number 2 important giant that we need to like think about? Because before it was referenced, if you were talking about giants, it's Dory, Brogy, Kashi, Oimo. But now it should be Hiredin and Loki, and if Oda adds some more, maybe it's Rodo. You know what I mean? Rodo was kind of like an intermediary between Loki's seeming beliefs and Hiredin's, like, because he was on Hiredin's crew, but he like was like racist towards like puny humans, which seemingly was Loki's take as a child. We don't necessarily know for sure, like as an adult, right? But we do know that like he doesn't like disrespect the power. Like I think he wouldn't like walk up to Shanks and be like, "You're weak, grovel. Get on your." I don't think he'd be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He like Rodo really underestimated.
And then there's Yasan, who he's like, "Oh, I mean, who's Yasan?"
Exactly, exactly. I don't know how Roto underestimates humans knowing that Scopper was there, which we didn't know at that time. We didn't know that when we were reading that. But now knowing that Scopper lives there and Roto knows him,
And
it's like,
respects him.
what? Yeah, why are you? What happened here? He's just like,
Yeah,
oh,
I,
you're
I have no
different.
clue. And then there's the
Yeah,
whole
you're
thing
not
where
like
it's
the
like, I mean,
rest of them.
Hired also worked for Buggy for a little bit, and it's like he's also human. Hey, don't ask me about him, man. Rona's a funny guy.
Yeah, yeah. At least with Buggy, when they saw Buggy, they might have thought he was a giant because he was doing that weird thing where his shirt was just like a giant bag of air and he stretched out his
Oh
limbs and
yeah,
he's just huge. They might have thought, oh my god, this guy is a I ain't never seen a giant like this one before.
yeah. Maybe Rona's just stupid. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean none of them have observation hockey, right? Like so from what
I'm
we
cooking
know.
with that actually. So Roto, Garrett, Goldberg, they're running off. Goldberg actually has a decent idea that I do wonder if that's like a hint. Goldberg says, hey, what would happen if we ate them? Like, should we just eat these guys? And it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe that works somehow, some
It's just
way.
a Oda's just a little messed up by having gold. There was so many other giants that why is Goldberg thinking about eating them, huh,
Because he's the
Oda?
fat
Why?
one.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much new information in this chapter, so I couldn't keep up. I couldn't
You
keep
couldn't
up
keep
with
up with it.
it.
Yeah, Goldberg,
Yeah.
he's the heavy set one. So yeah, he's the one who's always thinking about eating somebody. And plus he has Big Mom's homie shield. So it just makes sense.
Mhm.
Big Mom loves eating.
Yeah. Wait. Where did he say that?
Goldberg loves eating.
In this, was it before? Yeah, it was before the map. Um,
Yeah, it was like during the elevator ride.
he's talking about the Holy Knights. He says, "You Shay, this is Viz. You Shay, they're immortal, but there has to be a way to stop them,
Wait,
like trapping
what are
them
you doing
in
with your mouth?
something."
What is that?
That's the translation.
That's the translation?
Yes, I'm reading it verbatim. Yeah.
Wait, Stephen Paul gave Goldberg a fat scent?
Is that what that is?
I think so.
Oh, I guess I was like, it's not a lisp, but it is
Why do you do
something.
that?
I like because I would think that it's because he's cold. Like he's that sometimes you say like you Shay,
Nobody else
you
talks
can't.
like that though. Literally everybody's been
Yeah, yeah,
talking. Goldberg's the only one
completely
who's
normal.
like that quirky. What the
Yeah.
hell?
In something or crushing them or eating them.
Maybe he okay,
Okay, so
maybe
that
Stephen
last
Paul
part.
thinks that giants are stupid. Because it reminds me of like one of those older giants. You say they were mortal, but there has to be a way to stop them. It's like one of those things.
Yeah, but then he would do it to the other giants. He just hates Goldberg.
Yeah. He just has a Goldberg agenda. He said, F this guy, man.
Can someone in our comments confirm or deny if the katakana reflects this? Like,
There's no way it does. I promise you, there's no way in Japanese Goldberg has this
No.
accent. This
This is a
is
moment-
classic Stephen Paul headcanon, man.
This is the moment we have to recognize that he is our closest line to Oda. For sure, he called Oda, hey, does Goldberg sound different than every other giant? No. And then he's just like, oh, he won't know.
I still love
Like,
the people that say that. Like, oh, actually, Stephen Paul, he's got close connections to Oda. Same with that one guy. I forgot, like, his name's Greg or something.
oh, Greg. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, well, Greg actually knows exactly what Oda's planning. It's like, I wouldn't bet on it, but sure, man. Whatever helps you sleep at night. I gotcha.
It's funny because I found out about that guy through other creators who are like, yeah, he has me blocked. He has me blocked. I'm like, oh, and like I don't remember how many subscribers I had then, but like I was up there, and then I was like, did he block me? Did he block? And I wasn't blocked. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna like, hey, Mr. Greg, block me. But like I still don't think I'm blocked. So maybe that's
You
I don't
didn't
know if
join the
that's
club yet.
yeah.
It's like a rite of passage. Everybody gets blocked by Greg. I didn't know who he was
Yeah.
until like I saw he was like arguing with somebody online, and it was just like really silly, and I was like, okay. Like I just muted him. I usually mute a lot of people. Like I don't care enough to like block. I'll just mute. I'm good.
Yeah, I feel like especially when I see the animators hold their tongue, like there's so much slander that is there, and realistically, the animators don't push back against all of it. They let a lot of shit slide, right? And I can't
Yeah.
imagine being like a technical official source. Like they are listed on like the website or whatever, or a website, and so it's like I can't imagine being the official source and having that much I want to put these peons in their place. They don't have the official dialogue. I do. And it's like, yeah, they're talking like this because they don't. Like, let them chirp.
Yeah.
Like it's
Like, to
fine.
give you
It's
guys an
Twitter.
example of who Greg is, like I wouldn't look him up. It's not worth it. He is essentially what people imagine a Redditor is like in real life. You guys see that like video where
You're
he's
right.
like,
Oh my
moist
god.
critical. Like, I am a Redditor. I need to be respected. That's
I
essentially
did see
Greg
that.
for One Piece. That really, like, legitimately that is. He looks like him. He talks like him. Greg is like, I actually met Oda one time. I know exactly what he's planning. Like, that is Greg.
As an official source, I need more resources. I don't know why I don't have
Yeah.
lawyers.
Yeah, dude. Like he's kind of embarrassing. I don't think anybody wants to associate with him. He's just one of them, dude. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who were we talking before, Greg? It was
We're talking
Stephen
about Stephen
Paul.
Paul, yeah. But
Yeah, yeah,
Stephen Paul is
yeah,
better than Greg. As much as we slander Stephen Paul at times,
yeah.
he's at least way better than Greg.
Yeah, but on the
Nowhere
notion
close.
of the direct line to Oda, like that illusion, that veil for me was pulled back when I predicted the Mother Flame thing. I literally said like it should be this, but if I'm right, the Viz is gonna put an R there, and they did. And I'm like, even if it's a double entendre, like you go with the one that makes sense at the moment. You don't go off of like I think his logic was like, oh, I was thinking like computer because eggheads like mother frame, as in like the mother frame of a computer, and it's
Yeah.
like,
And that's when,
and that,
people were like, "Oh, maybe they don't talk to Oda every day." And it's just like,
yeah, yeah,
Stephen Paul,
but
I think it's good that he does this, but he goes on Blue Sky and he talks about like why he does certain translations the way he does. And it's like, yeah,
oh,
like it really does show like he does not have a direct line to Oda. He is just like
yeah,
any other translator, which isn't bad. I am always on the boat that more translations are good. But because
mhm.
he does like the Viz official, people see him as like the true one word of God. And it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
well,
the
it's
issue.
not really the case, guys.
People still to this day, I mean, I did this on purpose, but I have a short. I think it's my most watched short. Zoro is not a wing of the Pirate King. That's the title of it, and sure, obviously that pissed every. I think it might be like it's still. I still get people commenting like, "Dude, he's literally the Pirate King." The wing of the Pirate King. Duh, it was in the anime. And I'm like, bro, I put in the Viz translation where they said Sanji is both wings, and the whole point of it was the unofficial allowed the interpretation that Sanji is one and Zoro is the other. But the Viz is the one that was like the title of the thing, and people were like, why are you saying that? I'm like, I put the official Viz translation in your face, said it, wrote it. Don't come at me. That's the Viz
Yeah, don't come
official.
at him, dude. Go to Stephen Paul instead. Come on.
Yeah. And so like I'm like, huh, if we go, and I was like cosplaying, and this is to like I was trying to cosplay like the people who are like Viz is one, nothing else matter, Viz is it. And I was like, huh, if Zoro isn't the wing of the Pirate King, I wonder what he is. And people are like, he's the sword of the Pirate King. He's the left foot of the Pirate King. He's the neck and torso. I'm like, no, he is a wing. You weren't supposed to take it that way. You're supposed to look at the Viz and be like, that's a dumb translation. I need to go to the unofficial, or respect the unofficial, or respect other translations.
Nothing
And
is
people are like,
funnier than when Stephen Paul went in and changed English translations. Like when Oda
oh
wrote
yeah.
out God Knights or Knights of God,
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Paul went in and changed the English to say Holy Knights of God because that's what he's been going
Yeah.
with this entire time. Like, yeah, guys, come on. Like,
Yeah.
and Stephen Paul is fighting an uphill battle. So, I don't blame him It's just that, when people put him on like a high pedestal, it's like we really shouldn't. Stephen
Yeah,
Paul,
it's
in my
hard to have
opinion, is just
conversation.
another translator. He does a good job, but because he has that official title, like it really skews people's like mindset of One Piece.
Yeah, like sometimes, like me and Sai do this too. Like, we will when we're referencing something, sometimes we'll be like, the Viz said this or TCB said this, but I'm not gonna discount what someone else said because Viz said this, and that's the
Yeah.
major thing. Like, if you're having conversations, like, yeah, well, you're interpreting wrong. The official Viz says this, and it's like, okay. What does the official Japanese say then? And then it's like, that's where it's like, no, this is the official Viz. That's what I have. And I'm like, okay, and I'm giving you the official Japanese. Like, this is, and it's like, you can't have official Japanese. So this is the plethora of other translations and their interpretations that don't line up with the Viz. So don't counter. Like, Stephen Paul could be right and you could be right, but to discount everything else just because of that, and under the notion that like he has a direct line to Oda, it's like, yeah, then we can't have a conversation, right? That's the whole point. It's like, that would be
If there's
frustrating.
two things, if there's four things actually that are always true in life: death and taxes, Stephen Paul, and Sukiyaki. The four constants of life, the four things we always gotta talk about. We can't miss it. And that was our Stephen Paul segment this week, guys.
Just to close it off, guys, imagine a conversation where imagine all these years, me and Sai did not agree, and one of us took Viz translation, put it on a pedestal. These conversations wouldn't happen. Like, they would be impossible. Nope. Like, yeah. It's because we both know that, like, yeah, more translation's better.
If we really wanted a meme one day, we should have it to where, like, I read the spoilers, and then you only read Stephen Paul's official. Like, what would that look like?
Oh my...
That'd be nasty. Dude, we'd be in like different like dimensions at that point.
Yeah, there are certain chapters that it's like, I think the one that I remember the most is when Luffy talks to Loki and he goes, "Don't worry, I'll beat everybody else up." And
In Viz, he said he'd beat everybody else up instead of beating Loki up if Loki went crazy.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, cool.
What?
I guess.
yeah. He turns his back to Zoro and Sanji, looks at Loki and says, "If anyone says anything about you on my crew, don't worry, I'll trash their asses." And then TCB's like, "Guys, don't worry, I'll trash Loki's ass if he acts out of line." It's like, yeah, that makes way more sense. I don't know. Like, that was the chapter where I was like, I don't know how a Viz reader reads this. And it's like, I think I said this. I was like, I wouldn't blame a Viz reader for thinking we are in a different dimension or in like a nightmare thing, right? Because that was more proximate to that whole Roto situation. It's like, oh my God, maybe he is in a psychosis. Like,
speaking of just a really funny situation like that, I had a comment today. First time commenter, you can see how many times somebody's commented. Like, guy comes in for the very first time, and it has to do with the line we get later in the chapter. And, might be skipping ahead, but it's when Jarl talks about, like, this is going to split like the Harley text mentioned. Somebody came in and they're like, hey, so I never finished Wano. I skipped Whole Cake and I only read half a Dressrosa. But when it comes to the Harley text and what Jarl's talking about, I think he's talking about this. And he has like a whole theory on it. And in my head, I was just like, brother, you could have like a really good theory, but just don't discredit yourself by saying you didn't read like half of One Piece.
yeah.
It's like, what a different dimension. Like, what if like we know what's happening and you just skipped it? I don't know, man. That's funny.
Yeah.
I was taken aback by that comment.
Theory like hinges on any of the characters that they skipped. It's like, now I can't take anything that you said seriously. And if you want to be taken seriously, just read it. It's not that hard. Like,
hey, so actually, I haven't read One Piece before, but when it comes to Jarl's line, at that point, no offense, but it's kind of like getting somebody from like a gas station saying, hey, what does Jarl mean by this? It's like, well, I haven't read One Piece, but I think it's this.
If they skip Whole Cake Island, that means they missed the introduction to Jarl and Yorul. So He doesn't even know that there's another one.
Yeah,
he doesn't know that
they
there's another
skipped the
guy.
Jarl introduction. Damn,
Yeah.
man. I mean,
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
don't know if
know
I should
that
like hate it or if I should like respect it, because he did like say it like, hey, I don't know what's happening, but it's like,
Bro,
at a
like,
certain point, I'm
it's-
like, I love the honesty.
it's just funny because we sometimes, I mean, at this point it's stale memes, but like I would imagine more proximate to Whole Cake Island. We said this in Wano. We're like, oh, like Elbaph are a big mom, 5-year-old big mom victims, right? Like they don't
Yeah.
know what that means. What and what it looked like. It wasn't just Big Mom beat them. No, Big Mom devoured them, lit their asses on fire. Didn't even know it was happening. Did it on accident, really, and no one could stop her. And it was crazy. And to the point that, like, now that mentioning it, I'm almost like, what would happen if you put that Big Mom in Jarl's place at the castle? Like, does Big Mom like crash out and just stop Harold? Like, does he make it past baby Big Mom? I mean, obviously, yeah, but like the way that Big Mom was depicted, just manhandling Elbaph, is like, okay, I think you could put her in the castle, and she kind of clears
stopped,
like
dude.
a lot. Yeah, like. At no point did Harold like, what do you mean your entire village got raised by a child? Like, Harold had to come back one day, guys, and that was the reality that the chief of the Jarl died. No, Jarl died. And Jarl, his entire home is razed to the ground. Who did it? Did Loki? Yeah, they would assume Loki did that, honestly, but Loki wasn't even born yet. Loki was like just born the next day or some shit. So like that's crazy that Harold never like contested like, wait, Big Mom, this little kid did that.
Dude, it'd be so funny if King Harold was like, hey, send for my sons, Jarl and Big Mom. Bring him to the castle.
Now that I think about it, it would have been sick if like Harold and adult Big Mom like somehow had, because like God Valley, Big Mom was en route. She was on the ship that, right? Rox is there, Big Mom's there. The murder of Harold's like, you know, sniffing. You can go, Rox, but she stays, right? Like, if there was
so many interactions that we just missed, man.
Yeah.
If One Piece was going on for like infinite years, that is something we should have seen 100%.
Damn.
So, going on with the chapter now, Kashi.
Because we read the chapters.
Because we read the chapter. We don't skip. There are chapters that aren't amazing, I admit, but we don't skip. Kashi gives us a really nice map of Elbaph, and we see pretty much every faction here. One thing
is he giving us this? He's giving us the map.
Yeah, he drew it out. Yes.
So
he drew the map out for everybody. He made copies, if anything, too. Yeah. Really nice guy.
I never gave credit to all the map makers in One Piece. I should start doing that now.
I think the only time we actually got a map in the story and a map on like actual like paper to give to the Straw Hats was with Pudding. I think Pudding did it, and that was it.
Skypiea, there was a map, and then we got the map.
Oh, like, yeah, Skypiea map, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Egghead didn't really have it. They had the radar thing, but we didn't see that.
Yeah, version. That wasn't even in the manga.
But yeah. Well, no, they did have like the dots, but you're
yeah, they had the dots, but like it wasn't like the map. And then we got another map in the anime via like a radar system, but like I was like anime only. So in this map, what's interesting is that we are missing a couple of characters. We're missing Bonnie, Frankie, and Lilith. Lilith is an interesting one. You know, Frankie, he could do 1,000 things. He's a good fighter. He could like help the Straw Hats, etc. Frankie, big one. Last seen with Ripley. Have not seen with Ripley recently. He did say he wanted to save the kids. So, you know, if Frankie's pulling one of those things where he's in her shirt, sure. We could just go with that. Bonnie and Lilith, we don't really know where they're at. Yeah. Bonnie, I think she could come back and just do some crazy things with her devil fruit. Gear fit is still insane. You know, we'll talk about it later, but, you know, de-aging Jarl to his prime could also be in the cards as well. And for Lilith, yes, Lilith, not a fighter, but I would love to see what a Vegapunk thinks about Emu. Like, if there's one person to like figure out Domi Reversi other than like Zoro, which could be happening next chapter. Robin is up there, but also Lilith. Lilith is a genius. Maybe she looks at this and she's like, hey, I figured it out. Hey, this Abyss Circle, I know what's happening. Like Lilith could do that realistically.
Yeah, I think it's also, I mean, we've said this time and time again. That's the difficulty of having the quote unquote smartest character in the verse.
Yeah.
We could have left Vegapunk and dodged a lot of issues in terms of like, we were essentially offloading a valuable and respected and loved version of the Straw Hats. Like you listed out Robin, and I would argue that Usopp and Nami are there too. Usopp that's the only way he can really fight, and how many other things are going to take away from him, right? So like he was the person who like, would be like, I think when I forget what it was, but like a lot of people were like, oh, he's going to become like a military leader, like not really in the fight, but he'll plan the things and it's a cracked plan. And that's awesome. I could fully expect him to do that. And I think he would garner way more respect throughout the story had we had him in those roles all the time, right? But like you said, Lilith is here. And the other issue on top of that is that they're not, these stars, the magic, they're not foreign anymore. On Egghead, on Vegapunk's lab, there were multiple stars dropped in, lightning strikes. Like, surely the Vegapunks have some data on that. And Lilith is like, I'm getting the same readings from Egghead. And then looks outside, oh my god, it's one of them. And then like something like that, and then draws a connection, figures out how the abyss works, Like, sure, that seems like Lilith's wheelhouse, but like you said, like apparently Oda's giving Zoro a chance at it now, so it's kind of weird. I completely forgot about Lilith until you mentioned it on stream.
It's always funny too, just thinking about how much time we have in between islands, because dude, 2 days from Egghead to Elbaph, 1,000,000%. Hey, Vegapunk, what is up with those demons, huh? Do you have a theory? Like, that's the same thing with like the Straw Hat backstories, where like some Straw Hats don't know everybody's backstories. I'm like, I didn't realize this, but Brook, we got like the Rumbar Pirate thing, but nobody heard about it. All they know is about Laboon. Like, oh, Brook knows Laboon, that's it. The Brook backstory was entirely in his head, and it's like,
as he sang the song.
As he sang the song. And it's like, dude,
and we know that no one was, because everyone was dancing. Like,
everyone was chilling.
They weren't dancing to the story of all of his friends dying. Like,
and it goes back to the Vivi thing with the X on the arm, where the like Robin was like, this is like familiar. I don't know. And then nobody else like realizes, and it's like, dang, if only they shared stories. And you could say, oh, but why would they want to repeat stories over and over and over? They're pirates, man. They got like literally weeks on the open seas doing nothing. It's not like they have TV. They don't have 9-to-5 jobs. Like, they are literally on a boat doing nothing. Tell them what's going on. That's almost as egregious as when Robin says, hey, Luffy, this newspaper has news on people you know about. Do you want to hear it? And Luffy says, nah. It's like, okay, Luffy, what else are you going to do then? Just go back to picking your boogers? Dude, Robin telling you the news takes 2 minutes. Like, there's 24 hours in a day, Luffy. What are we doing?
And not just Luffy, but like
so
anyone else on the crew want to know information pertinent to your
that is
captain?
also true. And, this is very nitpicky, and I'm not like holding this against One Piece. This is true for every anime. So it's not like a One Piece thing, but like, common sense, logic. It's always funny seeing like the cracks in between. Like, it's fun to make fun of, because it just doesn't make sense at times.
One Piece does a lot of good in places where other animes can't do well, especially at the length, right? Like, that's a lot of times where stories end up losing their continuity, is the longer they go. One Piece does that very well. But then there's certain like very baseline kind of things.
It's like the Vivitar thing.
Yeah, it is like that. And like other series, that's not where they're essentially, there you have gaps, yes, but it's not the gaps of like like these characters don't even know each other. Like they've been together for 2 months at this point. They don't know like where they're from, who they're from. Like it's kind of interesting. And but
And
the characters know. They
yeah,
just never divulged it. It's just like, yeah, you never asked me. It's
I
like,
mean, one
okay,
big
so then what are
thing
you guys doing?
is also like Sanji, right? I'm at Whole Cake, and Sanji was like, "Yeah, guys, I never was keeping my backstory from you. It just never really came up." It's like, we never asked Sanji who his parents were, like his backstory. Like we just got Zeph, and that was it. And then same could be said for
Did he
Brook. It's
say
like, man, I
that?
would love to hear Brook's life before the Rumbar Pirates, man. Like, you're telling me they didn't sit Brook down for like one little like afternoon or evening and just say, hey, Brook, what's up? And, going back to
Wait.
Brook, we're expecting that he's going to have a big Gunko moment because we see, during this map segment, funny enough, that Brook is gone. Jinbei's like, yeah, he realized something, he ran off. And, we don't know Brook's last name. Do you think we're going to get it in this flashback?
I think we should. I think like Oda, like Nami, Usopp, right? I think
Yeah.
Oda left the gap for that. Whether he uses it or not is one thing. But now Oda set the ball in motion every
I mean,
single time we get
Frankie.
Gunko.
Frankie got his
Yeah,
last name
Frankie's
like
another
given to
interesting one.
us. Yeah.
Well, no, we do know we know his name. Cuddy Flam. That's his name.
Yeah, but and then like the whole like Queen thing too. Like Oda is going
Yeah.
through the Straw Hats and giving like more and more backstory. So it's like we
Mhm.
could realistically get like the whole thing there. Where it's like, yeah, Brook
Yeah,
gets like the whole backstory, but he also gets like his last name fully like given to us.
Yeah, yeah. I especially because of the Gunko thing. Like, there's no shot. There's no shot we flesh out Brook and we don't like literally flesh out Brook, flesh in Brook, flesh on Brook, whatever. You guys get the point.
Yeah, something like that.
And we don't get his last name. Like that would be insanity. You know what I mean? Like we're getting the person, we're seeing the holy knight there. Emu's currently possessing that person, and you're telling me the main character who's like our link to this story, we don't even know his name. Like that's wild, That is a like maybe you know what it is? Maybe Oda's afraid of Light Yagami. He doesn't want to give out the full name, so he doesn't write down the
Yeah. Brook's gonna say, hey, like 90 years ago, there was a story about a guy who, if he has your full name, he'd kill you.
Yeah, yeah. The way Oda handles names sometimes it does kind of feel like he's running from like I mean, yo, it's just like it is kind of interesting to think about it. Emu might have a power like that too. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Emu's set up to have like
Something.
even with rocks, right? Like rocks, that was kind of an important thing. To the world, he was Rocks Dizabek, but then he was discovered there to be Davy, and then Emu started frothing over that. Like the name, and Rocks was like, "What's so important about the name?" And it's like, "You don't know the fate strings between me and the Davy," and it's like, "Okay, can you tell me?"
Give me a hint.
And yeah, it's just so funny, but. Yeah, we're gonna get Brook's name. That'll
I
be a
believe in it.
good flash.
Will it
I
be a
think it's
name
gonna
that
be a
we've
cool
seen
flashback.
before, or will it be brand new?
If Oda wants to do most impact, I think it would be something along the lines of like, I don't know, we end up seeing one of the missing Holy Knights, like the 7 or whatever that's left. That he's like somehow connected to that. But if it's new, then I would imagine the value would just be like, oh, there's like some kind of like,
It's got aura.
No, that, but like
Tied to
extra
royalty.
meaning, like double entendre. Like, oh, Brook likes this because he's actually, I don't know, from Louisiana.
His last name is Violin.
Exactly, and and he's related to Lin Lin. Yeah, Violin.
Yeah.
yeah. His father's name was Via, and then his mom's name was Lin. So Violin. They mixed the last names. It's Via-Lin. That's what it is.
Damn, I'm trying to think like what's the best family we could tie Brook to that would make sense. And the only one I can think of. Oh, you said Big Mom
would be good because she was sleeping. Yeah, because she was sleeping with him.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's there's some kind of interesting thing there. Brook almost became a baby daddy. If he could. Wait, he can nut. Brook can nut.
He should be able to. Just bone milk.
Yeah.
Releases the calcium.
Big Mom. We almost got. I wonder what it would look like. Would it be No, it
Oh,
wouldn't be
I was gonna say
skeleton.
like the best family we could relate Brooke to would be whatever family Bellamy's from.
Wait, why?
I just think it'd be cool.
Oh, okay. You know what's I dream on, brother. Fly high.
Fly high, you motherfucker. So, anyways, yeah, Brooke is bouncing off. We kind of more or less know where he's going. Do you think he's going anywhere other than Gunko though, or is that just what you believe in too?
Yeah, I thought about it on stream. I'm like, where it makes no sense anywhere else, especially because he's the fastest. Like
Yeah,
he should be wherever we're seeing all the places. We're seeing the kids. Yeah, we're seeing everybody. Brooke's not there, so like, is he? Oh, he might be right underneath Emu because we don't know where Emu is, and he's just like looking at her panties because that's his thing, right? He wants to upskirt.
yeah.
He's just standing underneath Gunko. Well, it's problematic because the flashback had Gunko be like a kid,
He's like,
but
ah,
um,
pink. I recognize that.
yeah, yeah. You know what? Maybe I'm not looking forward to Brooke's backstory. That now that I think about it, it
Oh, what
might
if
cause
Brooke is
some
known as the
terrible.
panty thief of like '98?
Well, okay, so we can discuss that, but you know how problematic online discourse will be if like Brooke talks to 8-year-old
No, no, no.
one
But here's
in
the thing:
8 years. I'll
we
see your
still don't know what's
panties.
going on with Gunko's backstory. Like, oh, was
Mm,
that Gunko? Was that a sister? Was that a mom? Like, we don't know. Maybe
okay.
Brooke had the
Okay,
hots
fair,
for
fair enough.
Gunko's mom, who was older, and yeah, he knows about her panties instead. There's ways to
All I'm
make it
gonna
not
say is that
problematic.
yeah, yeah. And the thing is like it is interesting because like the way Gunko like realized Brooke and started running at it. It's like I wonder what is that like how Bonnie would run? Is that like how like is that a Bonnie Rebecca like finding out their father type of run? Or
Yeah,
is it like a familial guardian? Or is it like I'm trying to think of an example of someone husband wife. Why can't I think of a husband wife? Oh, Kinemon and Suru, right? Like, is it like that kind of run? Is it lover or is it familial? Is it friendly? It's kind of interesting because we don't know. Like you said, I was one of the people that when I saw that, I didn't get locked into what age or whatever. I was like, I don't know what's happening here. I just know that it's related to Gunko. And then the hairs matched up, I guess, right?
yeah.
People were locked in that that was Gunko as a kid, but it could be. It could be. I think it could highly be that it's the case, but the place I'm holding out on is that Brooke didn't say anything skeevy. You know what I mean? I just can't. That's a hard one because it's like I can't believe you're reading a story where you're one of the main. I was like, hey, he was never my favorite Straw Hat. I'm just gonna, and it's not because I'm racist, right? We don't even know what skinny like. You know what I mean? It's like a slippery slope of like, I never liked him. You know?
Yeah, not me,
Okay.
guys, not me.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you trying to deflect off of that wall, you run into the minority hunter Zoro wall. If Brooke was
There's
still
no winning,
alive, Zoro
man.
would have killed him. Like, oh
There's
god.
no winning.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the next thing we get is that Jarl tells all of Elbaph what's going on with Loki.
Mhm.
Hilarious, because it's like, dude, we stayed in the underworld to get this backstory, and Jarl's like, hey guys, I'm spilling the beans on the radio.
Yeah. It makes
So
sense.
yeah, it makes
But
sense.
this is
And
new information. This is
yeah,
new
this is
information.
new information. And one
Like
big thing
actually.
too is that if Loki were just to show up and help people, I feel like they'd be kind of scared. So now they know that he's innocent. I bet Loki's gonna start getting cheered on by Elbaph, which is gonna be a brand new feeling for my bet. So that'll be fun.
The Viz version of this speech with the focus on the Herald thing. Kind of
Yeah.
like it. Let me see the TCB one. Because TCB said, uh, all right, let's just go back. Our late dear King Harold always believed in Elbaf coming together with the rest of the world, and that led to his attempt to join the world government. But his efforts were shunned and betrayed. Yeah. 14 years ago on that fateful day, I saw all with my very own eyes. Harold and all those soldiers were killed by the act of a demon. New information to me, but Harold struggled to his last breath to keep Elbaph from falling into the demon's hands. Okay, so then in Viz, it slightly changes, but I think it's kind of interesting. He goes, our old Leech King, that part's the same thing. It's on that fateful day. He was betrayed and denied his wish. I witnessed a demon slaughter Harold and the rest of his soldiers. Harold resisted bending the knee and handing over Elbaph to the demon. He fought and he died. It's kind of interesting because, like, um, I saw Harold and all those were killed by the act of a demon. I feel like TCB took care of, like, making sure it could still mean that, like, he's not lying, you know what I mean? Like, Loki still fits in there. But in this one, it's like if you substituted who actually killed Harold, it's Loki. So it's like he technically is calling Loki a demon right now. But, you know, it's the same thing, obviously. The people are gonna understand it the same way. And you're like, wait, it's also he fought and he died, right? Like, it's interesting. Loki, meanwhile, bore the rage of his nation upon took it. It's kind of interesting because now I think about it, they didn't give like Loki credit during that because they know Loki's there, right?
Yeah.
They know that Loki was there. They just don't know what Loki did. And instead of giving truth about the Loki situation here, they just take Loki out of the story and say that Harold fought a demon, right? So, which, you know, interesting. It would be crazy if he said Loki killed that demon. Does he say that the demon? But if the people learn the truth, they would rise up and become more. Yeah, wait, hold on. Did I misunderstand this? They didn't say. He never said. Look, Loki took the people. He said, yeah, he didn't say anything about the castle part. So it's like, so to that extent, when they're telling the story, it's like, wait, did the demon die, guys? He's like, yeah, the demons are here. It's like, okay, but now there's 3 demons. You didn't mention 3 demons. Like, we talked about this before Harold bent the knee and as like, I'm a slave, turn me into a. Before that, remember we were like, oh my god, he might have gave his horns because they were gonna use it to like figure out how giants work and send it to Punk Hazard, which they've had centuries upon centuries of research and whatever. And then it's not even that, but it's like, bro, I don't know how you have Harold and they verbatim out loud explicitly said he is the strongest period that they've had in their thing. It's like, why did you then like use Kaido and King? Like, just use this guy. Like, what do you mean? I don't like King, sure, for the durability, but like, and Kaido was the dragon. But then when you get the Seraphim, it's like, why didn't you take any of his DNA? Imagine a bunch of Harold Seraphims. Like, that would have been crazy. Oh my god.
Roger Seraphims. I still thought that was a kind of fun idea, you know? Just say, Gold Roger, we have him imprisoned. Yeah, let's get his DNA.
Concurrent with you know, Vegapunk being with the world government, so it's like not a crazy thing. Like, if anything, I would expect Vegapunk to be frothing, like, you have an ancient giant in your ranks. He'd be like the way he did with the Buccaneer thing. He's like, Buccaneer, and he's just like, it's like, shh, don't report me. He's like, I am the world government, though. Oh god, yeah. And then he straight up said, like, yeah, I'm planning on making an army of you. It's like he probably wanted Harold too. Like, Vegapunk for sure was just like, no, Harold, come back.
He probably wanted everybody he could get, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't see why you'd see Harold and not want him. You know, Harold's a wantable guy, very wantable,
easily wantable. You know, it's funny that after Jarl says that Loki's innocent, Iron is just really mad. He's like, this is nicer than he deserves. And I don't know, I like the brotherly rivalry, man. It's a lot of fun. I just hope Hiradin gets on that stage.
I hired the TCB, I think, is more annoying because it goes don't get carried away. Yeah, don't get carried away, Elder Jarl. And it's like, he's understating what Loki said. Loki, like, he heard all that story, and the part that he has contention with is him saying he is innocent. I guess that's the next thing. And he said that's the only thing that makes sense when he says, "Don't get carried away, Elder Yarl." And it's like, bro, you heard the story. What do you mean? Like what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
so Viz makes more sense here.
Yeah, he says nicer than he deserves, which, yeah, it's like that one is more, it fits it, but it all for on our standpoint, our personal, we're still wondering what did Hyrudine experience, bro? Like,
Dude,
why is
Loki beat his ass black and blue every single day of his life. I get it, man.
Apparently, allegedly, we didn't never saw it. Like,
I mean,
we saw it
at this point,
only
we're going
one
through the
time.
My Hero Endeavor phase, where it's like, oh, Endeavor, the #1 hero. And then, you look at Endeavor's family, and they're like, I mean, sure, but...
Yeah, but he literally, like, permanently scarred one. His other one, he drove to, like, extinction.
That's what they did to Hyrden, man.
No, who?
Loki! Did you not see? Wait, no, we had that chapter. We had a chapter where Loki literally beat Hyrden, made Hyrden kill his dog.
Made Hyrden kill his dog?
Yeah, Hyrden had a dog. Loki made Hyrden kill it, and then Hyrden had to eat it. It's like a Chinese fantasy.
Right. No, it's in the SBS. Oda kept Hyrden's backstory in the SBS.
Yeah, and then in another SBS, Oda revealed that Hyrden actually is a ghost right now. His real body's already been killed by Loki once. And he's brought back via the Yomi Yomi no Mi. No.
Actually, the way Hyrden was moving in this chapter, his mouth was moving, it does seem like he's a vengeful ghost who can get over his gripes and is haunting Loki. Like, straight up, we saw the flashback. And this guy was out jet-setting the world with his buddies and had like zero unless Loki showed up and beat his ass on the other islands. I don't know why he's carrying this thing. As an adult, we've never seen Hyrden get anything from Loki. Loki was fine.
I mean, this goes back to like the Big Mom Herald thing. It's like, it's one of those things we just kind of infer it happened on the side. We move on. Like, we saw Hyrden get beaten. Different. We saw Hyrden get beat twice. 2 different occasions as a kid. Legitimately, like, no jokes. We saw him get beaten twice. Once before he met King Harold. We saw Loki standing over him. And then the second time at the village where Loki beat him and then he looked over at a kid that was crying and he was like really sad.
Yeah.
So it's like we can assume that just kept on happening over and over and over and over and over.
Until Hyrden stopped getting beaten
until Loki left.
No.
Yes, dude. Loki was beating Hyrden's ass all the way until the day King Harold died, man.
I love this interpretation only because that would mean that Loki goes over to Ida's house, starts beating up her kid. It's like, filthy blooded.
Imagine that. Like, Hyrden's at Ida's house, and then Loki's like, hey, Hyrden, there's something I need to tell you in private. And then they walk outside and Loki like beats him up. I don't know, man.
Yeah, and then Ida, where did you get those bruises? And it's like the Loki parallel. That's the one thing they bond on. That's why Loki did it. He's like, you don't know the abuse I went through, right? That, honestly, like, Loki, the thing is, the smoke that Hyrden carries for Loki is the smoke that Loki carried for Alcohol Village. Exactly. And the thing is, he didn't act on it until they committed a crime that they admitted. And whereas Hyrden has gotten 0 of that. In fact, he just found out he's exonerated of the crimes that killing their dad. So, and he's still the one that he's currently charged for. And then the other one, the one that he was in prison for when Harold called for his help, that was also like, hey, he killed those people, admitted to killing your mom, Hyrden. Like, did they not like vet that part out? Because Harold seemed to have known that truth, because he was like, yeah, makes sense. Like, I'm glad you stood up for.
I mean,
for
you gotta imagine this is Elbaph we're talking about. Mine is right here. So,
No, I
it's one
thought
of
you were gonna
those
say
things where it's like,
they don't.
oh, if you're strong enough, you can get away with any crime.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Hiredin, right? Like, it's just after the story, bro. I would have expected him to like not pocket everything, but say, throughout this entire chapter, he's like so spiteful for some reason. It's like, oh yeah, what did he say to Scopper? Because that was the first line that I was like, damn. Oh, how can a mere trio of humans run rampant over both the giant pirates and Mr. Ya? Huh.
Not
I mean,
bad.
that's less. Yeah, that's less than what the thing was. It's like, how could you guys lose? You guys, it was basically he could have just said you losers. Like you
It's
could have
like
just
Bleach,
substituted.
where they're like, oh, I can't even imagine Chad losing. That's Scopper.
Hmm.
Do you
Yeah,
do you get the meme?
I do. I know Chad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But
I
I
was
know
gonna say,
I
like,
know the meme.
the meme is that Chad loses pretty much every battle. But for some reason,
Oh,
Ichigo keeps on like gassing him up. Like, I can't even
I just remember
imagine
him being a
Chad
tank.
losing. And then Chad proceeds to lose like 50
Lose.
times in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because
love,
I
dude,
remember as
I
a
love Chad. As a kid, man, I thought Chad was like the bee's knees. He did so much good PR for like, I'd say Hispanics in general. Like he
I
was
just
that
remember him being a
guy.
tank.
And
He was a
then
tank, right?
he
Like he
was
was
a
a tankish
tank.
kid.
He had like El
Yeah.
Diablo. Like he was a boxer. You hear about it, like his grandpa who brought him to Japan, and it was great. What a nice
Let
story.
me double check if I know. Yeah, he has his
But
hair like is in front of his forehead,
yeah,
like that guy.
but for
Yeah, yeah,
some
yeah, yeah. I
reason,
know.
Kubo, it goes
Hmm.
back to like the Holy Knights in Hyruden. Who does Oda hate more, Hyruden or the Holy Knights? Well, I mean, is that anything compared to how much Kubo hates Chad? I'm not too sure. Like the hatred some of these mangakas have for their characters, man, it's unparalleled.
At least the main character was gassing up Chad, but like in this one, Hayden's getting no love from anybody. But then as time goes on, I'm like, maybe he doesn't deserve it. Like I
No,
don't know
I
anymore.
respect Hyruden. He's gonna show up and look really great. It goes back to like one of our big theories that we crafted the other day. We both believe that Hyruden's true powers are sealed away right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? I think the most gas Hayden will have is when Mock Vice enters the story again, and you just see like the
That's so rude.
PTSD damage that he
That's
has.
just so mean. You're bringing up
He's
his arch
gonna
nemesis right now.
the way, yeah, no, the arch nemesis is crazy. I was gonna say, that's wild what you said. I was gonna say,
What?
we're gonna have a bunch of villains facing Hayden and they're not afraid, right? Hayden's there. They should be afraid. I think Hayden would be able to beat these villains. And then Mock Vice shows up amongst those villains, like, you don't know Hayden? The 10,000 kilogram puncher? The guy who lifts the world with his hands?
There we
And Mock
go.
Vice is hyping up Hayden to these like villains and like, oh my god, we shouldn't fight him. Oh my god. That's the only way I see it at this point.
Oh,
Hayden getting a
Doflamingo comes
guess.
back, and Dofi's like, "Oh, let's destroy the Grand Fleet." And then Mock Vice says, "No, not Hyruden. Anybody but him."
Yo, Dofi comes back and is just like, Hayden, if I knew you were this strong, I would have added a star to your bounty. Like he would have given dude, that'd be so funny. I can't wait to see what like the reality is, oh, you know what? I'm gonna be extra disrespectful.
No,
You ain't ready for this. This is
no,
worse than the
no,
arch nemesis thing.
no.
Of the characters on Wano, right? The characters we left behind. There's a few that we believe will carry on. Who name them?
Yamato, Kiddymon, Momonosuke,
Is there another character, younger one that
Tama.
may not? Tama. I think that Hayden is he might even be lower than Tama in
Okay,
terms
now
of
you're just
their.
being mean.
Well, Tama actually ran the vanguard of the resistance on. Can you see Hayden even doing that
Yes.
here? The thing is, yes, but the thing
Hyruden
is,
will be that guy.
But here's the difference, right? Tama was doing that with her ability, and that was like her plan, and that was like a lot of it was on her back. Hired, even if he does, what will he contribute to that? Because when Usopp and Nami were like, "Yeah, that was Tama's ability. Yeah, sure, it's an ability devil fruit thing." But she made it there. She smuggled herself on a beast pirate ship, went through alone, came up with this plan and survived and did it and then was running in the front.
But the thing is
Hyruden ain't doing that, bro.
Hyruden can, though. You literally can imagine Hyruden doing that.
Bro,
like, he's gonna have a moment where, you know, like Sanji and Luffy were standing off against Kizaru and Saturn. We're gonna get that, but for Hyruden. Hyruden versus the three God Knights, Dory and Brogy. Everybody's gonna be down. Hyruden's gonna be the one giant still on his knees. Just getting up.
Okay, here's the two things. It was mad funny because on stream, I thought I was being disrespectful. I said, guys, do you think that Hyruden could beat Adami, Reversi, Dory, or Brogy? Like, do you think he can 1v1 them? And then someone, I think it's Alejandro says, but a few other people said, he's just like, Par. Let's start at the nightmares. They were like, I don't know if he can beat the nightmare. And I'm like, what?
No, he can totally beat Domi, Reversi, Dory, and Brogy. I think it would be pretty hard. Don't get me wrong. But I think Hyruden can do it.
No, but
he is legitimately the dirty blood, half-blooded prince. He is Harry Potter, man.
Here's the problem. Is that sure, I'll meet you there. I believe that I'm in the same boat. I'm like, okay, he beats them. The problem is, even if he could, the story isn't going to allow him to even have a chance to go to high diff because Zoro's there. Like, there are other competent people.
No, Zoro's there with Hyruden, though.
Yeah,
like, next chapter, we're going to see it. Zoro's going to say, Hyruden, this plan will only work with your cooperation.
You know what? Okay, this will go down in history. We're going to talk about me and you. I don't know about the rest of the community. We're going to talk about Hyruden Zoro like people did about Kid Law. Remember those like, oh, it's 50-50. No, it was 70-30. We're going to do that. But for me, I think that like the way it's going to go down is like Zoro's just like, I can't run fast. I can't keep up with them. Hyruden, throw me. You saw it before Andres Rosa. He's just going to have
one more time.
His ass. Yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. Wait, yeah, it was Hyruden who threw him, right?
No, it was Orlumbus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Orlumbus threw him. Hyruden wasn't. He wasn't there. Hyruden was fighting Mach Vice.
Elisabello had the punch, right? And Orlumbus has the throw, right? The bowling
so
thing.
Zoro beat Pika, the debris was falling, and then Elisabello shot away the debris so it didn't kill anybody.
Punch, yeah. Hyruden, bro, I couldn't even.
Hyruden was fighting, man. I mean, you can't blame a guy for fighting. He was going 1v1.
Against?
Mach Vice. And Mach Vice is powerful, brother. He is somebody you don't really want to tussle with.
You're right. Do you think that Zoro...
Loki might not be able to beat Mach Vice.
Okay, let's go to if Mach Vice. I don't know if we talked about this. If Mach Vice fell from the sky the same way he did Hyruden, and Ragnar was there, do you think Mach Vice would pass the test?
I think so. I think Mach Vice would be able to extreme diff Loki.
Well, okay, I'm not talking about Loki, and I'm just saying the test. The test.
Put them both there. I mean, that's it. We gotta remember, right? The move that Hyruden whipped out against Mach Vice was Gungnir, the legendary spear from Norse mythology.
Yeah, that
should rival Ragnar.
You know what we need? You know what Hyruden needs? This will be the maximal PR reversal of his reputation. What needs to happen? Mach Vice re-enters the story and mogs Loki and Ragnar and stands on top of him and like, you're nothing like your older brother. Oh,
that's what we need.
That's the maximum ceiling. That would be
insane. Yeah. Mach Vice comes in, beats Loki, and says, Loki, you're never gonna live up to Hyruden's kindness. Loki, you might have power, but Hiruden has something way more important. Heart
We need to make
and
these
friendship.
panels. We need to make these panels, like, put psychosis into it to, like, make this shit happen.
Yeah.
Oda finally, I didn't draw these. What's happening?
Yeah, what's happening with this?
Oh god, that's so funny. Hiruden, yeah, listen. Oda replaced Hiruden.
Ooh.
Once he
Mog
brought
Vice
Loki
looks
into the
over.
story.
He says, Loki, you may have the legendary devil fruit of Elbaph, but Hiruden is Elbaph. Oh, that'd be nuts, man. The crowd goes
so
mild.
That chapter when they were talking about Loki and like, oh, there's another cursed prince, or there's an accursed prince. I'm pretty sure in that same chapter, Dory and Brooke, you were like that brat in referencing Hiruden. Where did he say it? They said, taking it blurred. Okay, here it is. We had this youngster named Hiruden on our crew. I hear he's a follower of yours now. Yeah. Oh, he's the son of a king too. You know, a son of a king. What was you know? Whoa, what is this translation? He's the son of a king too. You know, was a real tempestuous brat though. That's current day. That's how they talk about Hiruden behind his back. This is the giant pirates. This is Dory and Well,
hey,
no,
brats are usually strong.
That it's just crazy that like because that hurt my feelings when we got this is the first thing they say about Hiruden en route to Elbaph. I'm like, bro,
no, you're just taking it in a bad way. Really, you should look at it as Hiruden left a really big impression on them.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I think they also called him that. I mean, this one made sense, but in the Big Mom flashback, they were like, you don't know. So they said something, and he was just like, oh, I look up to them or something like that. But this is way different. This is current day Hiruden still getting talked to as a brat, whereas they didn't do that with Loki. And it's like what you said though. It's like the strength based thing. I like the way I'm looking at it is like, I don't know if Hiruden can mess with these guys.
He totally can. I mean, it's in the cards. At some point, you have to stop slandering Hiruden. You slandered King Harold. You slandered Rox. You slandered Loki. At what point?
Slandered Rox?
Yeah, whoa. At what point do you just stop, Par, and just realize that these guys that you underestimate and hate, they're going to be great, man. You hated Kuma, too, back on Egghead. I don't get it.
All these, Harold never on strength, but you dodged the one I actually did because if you mentioned Par, you talk shit about the Holy Knights all the time, and you yourself couldn't bring yourself to. They're gonna be great. You couldn't even do that because
we haven't even met half the Holy Knights yet. So how can I say that?
Yeah, they're gonna be better. They're gonna be better. The ones that Scopper.
They're gonna hit a blue streak.
I can't wait for those Holy Knights to show up, and Scopper goes, Who are you guys? Like, I know your mom and dad though. I killed them multiple times until I figured out how to kill them. They just stopped coming at one point. I guess they had you after that. Like
that's where they came.
Yeah.
So, funny you mentioned the Holy Knights because we actually see them in the very next page, and they're all looking pretty fire, man. You got Killingham, Gunko, and Sommers all in different locations. I like what Oda does here because they all have their own panel where you can kind of see their background. Killingham is with the, as Stephen Paul calls them, the Sleep Tids. Gunko is with the Domi Reversi Giants, and Sommers is just chilling on the branch. And I'd say Sommers here has a lot of aura. Like, with what he's saying here, you'd almost forget that he lost. He says, well, I can just take a nap and this mission's going to be complete. You would kind of forget that, like, what? 2 minutes ago, he was on the ground saying, stop it. Like, it's insane, man.
Hey, listen.
That's good.
In terms of shonen determination, this guy is top tier, S tier. Like,
really is.
Other characters lose and still have the tenacity to overcome the fear. But the thing is, they remember what happened, and they're like, oh, I gotta dodge this. Sommers, he's so past that. He's evolved. Why remember? Why even consider? Yo, when the TCB translation was, it literally sounded like he wanted to run away. Like he's just like, I could go to sleep. And then in this one, it's like, it's a little different. He's like, I could take a nap and still complete the mission at this point, which that is a little bit different. He is bringing the kids and guarding, and that is his like main function there in terms of the mission that was set at the beginning, bring the 10 kids. So like, but even that is kind of like so arrogant considering he just faced a threat that can disrupt him. You know what I mean? Like, does he think that Scopper can't cut those things if Scopper were to return? But even more so, do they not, like, are they not registering, like, you guys haven't fought Luffy, Zoro, or Sanji? You know the Straw Hats are here, but you're just like, yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay, one thing I don't think we're putting enough respect on is the fact that Scopper really just won because he caught Sommers off guard.
Oh,
like,
so when
Sommers was still processing what was happening. So at this point, now that Sommers knows that that dirty rat is on this island, he's fine.
Oh, so when he turned around and said, what are you doing here? And then proceeded to have a whole fight sequence where he blocked, defended,
he was still shot.
And then clashed. He ran in. The thing is,
he was still getting rid of the jitters.
You've put me in a position where now I have to. What I'm realizing is this is crazy. When you think about it, at that time, we did not have the information we have now. Sommers not just at that time, we had an inference. Oh, he must have lost to Scopper in the past. No, he lost almost infinitely. He lost so many times that both sides told stories about it. And Sommers, instead of doing the thing where his arm's chopped off, he sees Scopper, instead of doing the same thing of running the fuck away to get reinforcements because, hey, I know I can't beat him. Why? Because I've never beat him. Why? He has Conqueror's Haki and he can damage me. Instead of doing that, I'm going to clash with him. And the thing is, if he ran, Scopper would have let him. Because Scopper just wanted the kids. Sommers would.
It's just one of those things. I mean, you got to respect that determination.
Oh God.
Like, what if in Sommers' mind he keeps saying, if I just had one more chance, I'd beat him.
No. Allegedly, he just forgot. He's not calculating it. He's not thinking about one more chance. He's thinking, you know what? First try. That's what he's thinking. He's just like, I got on my first try. That's the meme. He's doing that. If he has any W on Scopper, he's like, did on my first try.
But
baby.
Then again, we don't know what Sommers' mind is like. For all we know, he could say, I work for the team. Gunko beat Scopper. I technically beat Scopper. I won.
Dude, that is some ultimate cope. I wish Sommers explicitly says some shit like that. Like, Scopper shows up and he's just like, you ready to fight me finally, old man? You've never tested.
You're ready to lose again? Yeah. Oh, that'd be so fire. You ready to lose again? He needs to say that. He needs to say it.
I think Scopper would question himself. He's like at the age where he's like, am I getting dementia? Did I not just clear this guy? Like that might be Sommers' only way of winning. Gaslighting him is Scopper into dementia. Like,
no, what we need is some more lore about their past fights. Like maybe Scopper and Sommers are like Kakashi and Guy, where they're like, hey, like, you won this last one, but now we're at 102 wins and 101 losses. I gotta make up for that loss. Ooh.
Yeah, except Sommers would have 0.
No. Sommers is the 101.
Oh, yeah, it would be funny if he counted the win, the Gunko win. That's his one win.
No, Sommers is such an honorable guy. In fact, he doesn't even count it. He says, Scopper, for your sake, I'm gonna eliminate that one.
Dude, the character you're imagining would be so annoying to watch. Like,
he would.
It would be good. It would be. it would get a reaction. Like people would genuinely be like irritated and want to like shake the
Irritated
TV.
and confused, screaming,
Yeah.
crying.
That as a writer might actually be a really good thing because it would force you to go back and reread what happened because then you're like, wait,
Like,
did he win?
if this theoretical Saint Sommers actually existed, imagine the amount of YouTube essays you'd see about him.
Dude, yeah. We'd have psychiatrists coming in and start start prescribing him medicine. Like, this guy's a narcissist. We need to put him on the same shit we put Kanye on. Like,
but then after like a year passes, there's gonna be videos saying, "Wait, was he actually cooking?" The Sommers, the retrospective perspective.
Oh God, that's so.
That'd be so fire.
That
man.
would be a compelling character. That at the end of the day, I'm down for compelling characters like that. That would be cool. Like at the moment, Sommers is just like a tortured kids watch parents cry kind of. We saw that like 3 times now,
and it's like the boogeyman.
We haven't seen much more yet. Every time there's a kid crying, Sommers is right there in a bush somewhere waiting for the parents to see it, because that's what he cares.
Is that Garrett is going over there, Ripley's going over there. Dude, 2 women are about to fight Sommers. They're gonna lose, man. Sommers doesn't lose those matchups. Sommers is gonna win. Just wait.
Well, oh man, Ripley though.
Yeah, I mean Ripley doesn't have advanced conquerors to our knowledge. I don't think she's winning.
But I think quicker than most. Maybe Oda just did this because she's it's a girl. So like maybe, but like with Ripley, it was very immediate that we knew that she was like a warrior. It's like, oh, she's one of the last warriors, We didn't really get that for anybody else. So, like, if she's not competent, it'd be kind of rough. Like, she has to be stronger than Saul, right?
Yeah, I think she's stronger than Saul. But Saint Sommers, I can already see him and what he's going to say. Ripley, one of the last warriors? More like Ripley, the final warrior, because he kills her.
But that wouldn't make sense because there's other warriors there.
we don't consider them.
Like Sommers is low key like where he's in a Sparrow kind of thing. Like maybe we shouldn't send women his way. Because my God, it was fine when Chopper was gagging on that candy, but when Oda and the anime, oh my God, when Carrot and
Wanda, they went crazy on that one.
I didn't know if I needed the blur boxes down that one. That was crazy. And Oda with Sommers,
a lot of people took off work the very next day, believe it or not.
Wait, what? Why would they take work?
Hey, you know why? You know why?
Their right hand wasn't functioning? Is that like
it was out of commission, brother?
Oh my God, dude. Sparrow is crazy. And you know what's crazier? The Chopper one was like it was more graphic, but they didn't do like the jiggle physics. They didn't do that kind of stuff to Chopper. And I'm like, but they did everything. It's just like didn't feel as wrong to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have had Chopper. They should have given Chopper like a female point, just so we could like enhance.
Yeah, it wouldn't be if he had like a nurse point, caretaker point, like he had someone just like that would be, and it's just like extra soft.
What like a breast milk point?
What you just said is what I was gonna say is like maybe Chopper would sell with the boys too if he had at that point to like you get body pillows, you get so much, and then you go he lactates in that form, like
because like going back to Punk Hazard, Chopper was taking care of the kids. Like imagine if that's how he did it. Actually,
he
Luffy, I've
goes
been
into
training
his-
during the time skip just for this scenario. Breast milk point.
I,
Yo, that could
unironically,
work.
I think
Yeah, I see
I
it. I
think
see
if
it.
Chopper had that form, he would not be as hated as he is right now. I think genuinely he would not be hated if he had that form.
Really?
I think that's the reality. Yeah, because then it's like, no one complains if like Nami doesn't. Nami was fighting Khalifa. She's not doing it that hard anymore, So it's like no one's complaining because Nami has other utilities. I think that people would do the same thing with Chopper. He has other utilities.
Yeah. No,
Need
guys,
cereal?
Chopper isn't a fighter. He's the breast milk merchant. Dude, him and Brook would go crazy as a combo because, Brook needs milk.
Oh my god, he would be immortal. He would be a holy knight.
The Brook Chopper combo it would be cracked.
The other fan fictions would go nuts as well.
Do you think people would like this? Like, would this be generally like a universally loved plot point?
Okay, universally is hard because we know there's some crazies, but I genuinely think the level of hate, the same
There's
Chopper.
some crazies who would not like breast milk Chopper. Yes, you're right, Par. There's some insane people out there who just wouldn't like this idea.
And for the point that like you have the same Chopper does the same thing, but he has a female point, and then everyone has a plushie of Chopper. I don't think those guys are complaining anymore. They get the body pillows, you know what I'm saying? Like, it changes. I think it changes things.
Oda and Toei, they're like, hey, the Chopper merch ain't selling. We gotta hit a brand new demographic.
Yeah, bro, they might do it with Doc Q. Because Doc Q fights Chopper, he's gonna make him...
Yeah. Doc Q is gonna be his opponent. Doc Q's done it before. That could be it. I think we figured it out.
Yeah,
we're spoiling One Piece
on an actual theory. And the thing is, we kind of came upon this in a real fashion from the marketing standpoint, because it's like we saturated the women. We need more men to buy Chopper. Make him a girl. Straight up.
I will say this though: if Chopper does it, he shouldn't fight Sommers.
Yeah. Oh, and then Oda responds like, it's been foreshadowed, brother. Like, he's just like, it's already planned. Oh my god. Yeah, one day we're probably gonna get Chopper body pillows sold out in mass. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit strange, but it'll be there. It'll be there.
Oh yeah, and you gotta think about that furry demographic. They went crazy with Carrot.
Yeah.
What would Chopper's name be? Chipper. Oh my god, it'd be Chipper. Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Susie Chipper.
Susie. We started off on this because of lactation power.
I don't know. You watch oh yeah, you have like Legends of Korra, yeah. That was a big thing. It was a meme. People were saying that Korra could bend breast milk. It's just so stupid, man. All
I'm saying is, at this point, guys, you guys have to recognize this is going to happen. Chopper will be turned into a woman. What we just talked about isn't blasphemy.
Jokes aside, this is canon.
Yeah. One day, mark my words. We might have been wrong on Recycle Curve, but not this one.
Yeah. Surely two of our theories aren't going to be wrong.
Yo, it's just like to be fair, I think that Oda is probably gonna make all the Straw Hats gender bend, right? Like, he's gonna probably do that.
Yeah, he could.
It's like,
I mean, like you said, Doc Q has that, like, literally has that ability.
Yeah, and then Ivankov's gonna come back into the story, and
that's what Ivankov's known for. It's like the bread and butter.
Yeah, and Nami did cosplay as a dude in Thriller Bark, so it's like Ivankov's like, let me do you one better. You become a Namo.
Namozu.
Yeah.
God, dude, these theories are freaking cursed.
We end this chapter review with
No, okay, we're not done yet. Okay, we'll get to it.
Okay,
Final
yeah,
parts of the chapter, we see that good old Jarl has ended his speech. He talks about the Harley text being split into two. Like, oh, yes, this world will separate. We don't really know exactly what he means. You know, it's so hard to tell with all of that because we know really just nothing about what it's talking about, right? The Harley text, the
Mhm.
mural, it's all still very vague. And really, Oda can do whatever, so it's hard to speculate on it. But one line we do get regarding Yarul is that Harden does say that 300 years ago, Yarul was known as the primordial pillar of power, pillar of strength. He was the
Is that the
strongest man on the sea.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
God.
Yeah, what did the TCB say? TCB was also glazing, but
Yeah, everybody's glazing Yarul. Like he was him. The way they talked about Yarul, he sounds like freaking Gojo, man. Like he's born and just everybody trembles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I do want to see. The thing is, maybe we need a. Oh my god, a Yarul flashback would take us halfway to the Void Century. He's 400 years old. Like, that's crazy.
We need like a spoiler alert for that flashback.
Yeah. Oda, dude, Yarul's like the way I said it in the beginning, I'm like, it's basically like Ors died, and then the moment he died, Yarl's like, it's finally my time to shine. Like that's kind of where it is. Is like that's another thing. Does Yarl like is his contemporary just red and yellow giants? Like what does he know? Because Ors was just 100 years. No, Ors was like the same. Yeah, 100 years prior. He had to have known Ors the second because we know Ors the third, the junior one. Where are they? Where's the mom and dad? Yarl has to know these people, right? Like, ain't no way. Ors was an international myth about giants. You tell me that the island of giants doesn't know about the myth that everybody else known? The continent puller? They're like if they are ignorant
Par.
of Ors,
Who do you think froze Ors? Yarl.
They did. Usopp did mention Ors in. I don't know if the Giants acknowledged it though. In the thing, he said. I think he said like, "Oh, he's bigger than Ors" or something like that. When they were in the banquet, I think
Usopp talked
said
about beating Ors.
Yeah, yeah. Did they have a reaction to that? Now I think
I don't
about
think
it.
So.
I'm gonna go back later.
Why would you react to that?
Because it's Ors. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I mean, Yarl's here.
Ors is their Ryuma. Ors is literally their Ryuma. It's like this ancient in the past thing. The only difference is humans only live for like 80 years. To them, Ors is just an uncle. Like to some of these giants who 300 years old, they're like they should know Ors is like descendants or brother, sister. Anybody.
They should have some stories of them, to be honest. Like jokes aside, yeah, they really should have like a hey, Ors lived in this town. You know, he actually grew up on this island. It's this guy. There should be something about him.
Maybe that's how. To bring it back to Jarl thing, maybe that's how it got tested. Because that's what we always. How is the title tested? Maybe he was boxing with these colorful. I was gonna say colored giants. Giants of color. Sorry, but like you look at them, they're literally rainbow.
Giants of color sounds so cursed.
That's so funny. I mean, yeah, colored giants sounds whoo,
diabolical.
Almost canceled there. We gotta segregate them too.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that there is a reality where Bonnie de-ages Jarl?
I'd hope so.
It's possible. So. I mean, that's literally her ability, right? She ages people up, she ages people down. She can alter your timeline. Like, yeah, Bonnie is that person. So we could see Prime Rule here, and he could be who destroys Emu.
Yeah, she did do it to Vegapunk, brought him down, and then the near-death experience. I don't know what that would like essentially be, but it to me it sounds like she put them like the day before they die, like near death,
Yeah.
and then it's a temporary thing, so they come back. Like that's what I felt like. So if Odo was willing to flex Bonnie like that, literally beginning to end with Bonnie's power on other people, I feel like this is the most. If we're gonna have Yarl fight and be a meaningful combatant, and we're glazing him like this, it does feel like that is the logical thing. Unless Elbaph comes up with like, we have the national treasure, and it's like a bunch of drugs that like the energy steroids, fatal fuel, and it just makes them younger or something. I don't know, but unless we have something like that, Bonnie, if there's anybody she should be touching, it's Yarl for sure. We need to see what this guy looked like in his prime. Do you think his beard would get?
It would get shorter, yeah.
Yeah. It was
But I
not
mean,
like
his nickname
Vegapunk's
is
head.
Mountain Beard, so maybe it was like that big in the past too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is huge too. Yarl is
Yeah,
massive.
he's
He's
a
as
big
big as
guy.
Loki. Yeah,
Not
when
even
they
an
were
ancient
walking,
giant.
they were pretty sure they're even when in the walking scene, or just about at least.
And he
I
has a
don't remember a
legendary
huge.
sword, so like, who knows? Maybe Bonnie de-ages him, and the sword just like slips out of his head,
True, that
and he
would
gets
be
his
the way
sword
to
back.
fix that. That would be the way to. Oh, Hiradin could get the sword finally, to rightful
Yeah.
owner of the sword.
Jarl uses it, and
Yeah,
then he passes it on to Hiradin.
it would have been so. Uh, man, with Chainsaw Man, it would have been so like gory if Yaru was just like, "I'm not a warrior that I want to be." Hiradin, take the sword. What do you mean take the sword? Just take it. Don't ask questions. And we just see blood gushing. Hiradin just yanks it out, and then Jarl's dead, and he sacrificed himself. Like
Ooh, yeah.
that'd be kind of nuts.
Yeah, that would
I
feel
mean,
like
he
an
did want to
Elden
go
Ring
down as a
cutscene,
warrior.
just like
Yeah,
pulling it
exactly.
out.
He wanted to go down as a warrior. That would kind of fit, right?
Yeah, pull the
Yeah.
sword out of me, and not in a
Yeah.
sexual way either.
Yeah, and then we see the sword shrinks down to Hiradin size because Hiradin is not as big as Jarl or the sword.
No, it's just gonna be like the Zoro Enma thing. It's like, oh, like the sword just kind of shrinks, or like Amino Habakiri, where like nobody even wields it, and it's just fitting in a box. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Back down to
except
its
the
OG
scale is
size.
way like like the Zoro and the Odin Enma to Zoro size is a lot. It is big, but the Herald sword to Hiredin size, that is insane. Like that's not something that would be a viable S. Oda, what is going on here? We walk by a lot of them. Can you explain it? And then he would give us some bullshit like, you see, in the One Piece world, all swords are alive or something like that, and then that'd be the day that my crazy theory comes to truth. You know, he might even say Mihawk is a sword in that SBS too.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, that's where he's gonna drop it. Actually,
Yeah, in
have you
that
heard of this character named Mihawk?
yeah. Most people think he paints his blade black, but what if I told you he is a black
He
blade?
is the blade.
He is black. Like if you just
God.
stop there. Oh God.
So we end off the chapter with everybody celebrating Yarl's immaculate speech. And we see that Zoro has a plan. And Zoro also made it all the way to the West Village. It was so quick, man. Literally, we got the map. They're very far away. We blink and they're there. That's a speed feat.
Hyden's the fastest giant. Literally
Yeah.
on paper. We've seen all the giants maneuver across the map. Hyden went the farthest, the fastest. That is the
Arden's that guy,
main.
man.
Yeah, they should. I don't know what they should do, but if he could be the Flash. He has the constitution for it.
So, what do you think Zoro's plan actually is? Do you think he's actually going to beat Domi Reversi? Or do you think he's just going to, like, fight them? Because that's
He
a big
said
thing,
they-
right? Like, he either has an ingenious plan that beats everything, flips everything on its head, or it's like, hey, I'm just going to cut their legs off.
Yeah, it's interesting because I liked the idea that he goes, which one of you guys is the strongest? And like he makes them fight each other, which is plausible, I think. But he's wielding his, like he's pulling his sword out. So like it does feel like he's like, why would he do that if he's just gonna like troll them, rage bait them? And that would be so meta. Like right now in this day and age to have Zoro rage bait. The Zoro the fandom, his fandom, kings of that. But anyways, like he's pulling out his sword. So I feel like he has to have some kind of thing. And the thing that they said before is watch out. Watch out that they don't trap you between them. So like I was thinking like, oh, maybe he ties them together, but like how would he do that? He's Zoro. Like he has a sword, he cuts them. So I really don't know what he's gonna do. But like maybe he like chops them in half and then he moves the upper body somewhere else. Like like I feel like that could be something. That's what I would try. If I was strong enough to do something, I would try that. Split them, toss the other side that way. And if he has Hired, maybe he's like, here, punch this. And he does that, and then maybe it's like an alley-oop type thing, you know?
Yeah. But the regeneration, though, man, like maybe they just regenerate so fast that it doesn't even matter.
I'd love to see it. If we took Dory's upper body, put it on the other side of Elbaph, how does that regeneration work? Do the legs move to the upper body? Or does it just, the upper body just kind of floats back like Brook? Or does he just grow another upper body and the other upper body despawns like a video game? Like,
Yeah.
which one would it be?
There's a range limit and everything to it.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I have done that in games where I've tested like, this thing respawns. Let me see how far it goes. And then like you hit the end of the map and it just deletes itself and it fixes and it's like, oh shit, never mind.
You know, one thing with rage baiting, I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, Zoro's gonna rage bait them into fighting. The only thing though is that I just feel like it would only work for a minute. Like Emu would be able to snap them out of it. Because we saw what Emu was able to do with Rox, where Emu was like, hey, Rox, go kill your family. And much to, you know, Rox's chagrin, even though Rox is a family man, he's like, okay, cool, I'll go kill them. So even if Dora and Broggy fight for a little bit, I could easily just see Emu saying, hey, snap out of it, lock in, and then they're like, okay.
Like, I don't know if it would have to be personal. Like, because Rox did defy the Damiroversi mentally, right? After a certain point, he spoke, was consciously speaking to them. But the main part there was Emu said to kill everybody, right? And Rox didn't. Roger and Garp called him out and he flew to them or whatever he did. And that was actually, Emu was like, Davy? Like, he was questioning that. Because that was like a kind of low-key defying moment. In my mind, that isn't, because it's like, yeah, if I want to kill everyone, I should probably start with the strongest people and take them out of commission. But I don't know how Damiroversi's AI works. But Emu was a little perturbed by Rox's decision to go to Roger and Garp. And maybe if Zoro goes to the original rage bait, and he says, which one of you caught the bigger Sea King? That might just like trigger all the right psychosis.
We know nothing about that though. Just like Law's story, just like Law's flashback, that is something that only we, the audience, actually saw.
True, because
Zoro and the Straw Hats do not know about like the whole Sea Kingdom. They know that they were fighting, but they didn't know like why it started. And even at the end of Little Garden, not even Dory and Broggy remember. The reason we get the flashback is because Zoro and Sanji were arguing, and then Dory and Broggy said, it's familiar, huh? And they're like, it's whatever. And then we got the flashback after they said that. So Dory and Broggy don't remember, and the Straw Hats actually don't know about that competition. So that's why, like, rage baiting sounds good, but, like, Zoro would have to find a way around, like, the whole Sea King route.
Yeah.
Another thing I saw people saying is that Zoro's going to cut the branch off, and they're like, oh, you know, when Frankie and Ripley were walking by and they saw, like, the broken branch, like, that was foreshadowing. My only issue with that is, one, that could destroy the village, too, because the village is at the tip of the branch, and two, they have wings. Dory and Broggy have wings. They could just fly back up. So
we haven't seen them work.
We haven't seen them work, but Emu has those same wings and Trident even, and they're flying. So I like to imagine the Giants could fly if need be.
True. Give it that.
Because Gunko wasn't flying beforehand, but when Emu took over and boom, the wings came out, it's like, okay, yeah. Another one, and this is something we talked about on your stream, but Zoro could cut the boats. Like, if you cut the boats, they can't leave. Like, that is very meta. It's almost too meta to the point where it's like, will they actually do it? But it's a good idea.
You know what? Think about this. I think you might, because like, yeah, what I was saying was actually at the beginning of the chapter. This is when I entertained this, because I had thought that Sanji wasn't on the thing. I was like, wait, what? He's here? But I'm like, okay, so now he's here. This plan sounds like a Sanji plan. Just have him skywalk and just beeline to the ship, take it out. If you did it, because they determined that is an ultimate end goal. If they get on the ship, it's game over. We can't catch them. That's what they said. So okay, take out all the ships. Why not? Make the Thousand Sunny the only ship they can take, and then you're defending the ship. That's fine. Sure, do that. But like now with Zoro here, Zoro's not on the panel like in front where the Giants are facing during Broki. What if the gag Zoro going the wrong way and they're like, Zoro, the fight's this way, and he just like, no, I got a plan, and he goes the other way and he slices, like, what is he doing? And he just slices all the ships, or he cuts off the branch. Oh yeah, he could cut off the branch,
but they could fly.
Oh yeah, they could fly.
Yeah,
that's true. But the kids can't fly. Oh yeah,
the kids can't fly. They would just die.
Oh yeah, they need to protect Yarl too. That's like kind of the main thing.
Yeah, so and there's like other giants there with Yarl too, so it's like, yeah, cutting the branch might just be too not in our favor. Like, we know, like, sure, we don't know if the Giants can fly or not, the Domi REVERSI one. They have wings though. Whereas we know for sure that, you know, good old Yarl can't fly. So
I will say
tough.
But okay. Meet me at, can Zoro cut the branch?
It's Adam Wood. Of course he can't.
I knew we'd have this difference of opinion. Ah, man. You're one of those people. Not...
Yeah, well,
but like you're not Gold. That's insulting to Goldberg, bro.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but so if Zoro can, I feel like the collateral damage of Zoro, like, because if he chops off the branch, that means all the village and the castle just fall down. I think that would be hilarious if Zoro, they're like, our castle is like, well, do you want them to get the mission, to their mission complete? Now they have to go back down there. And it's just like, Zoro has like the logic, like whatever happens in the thing, like if there's a logical explanation, it would just be so funny if Zoro just like destroys everything. Just like, yep, now they can't do it, guys. And they're like, what?
And then imagine Luffy and Loki next chapter, they fly up and they're like, well, everybody's back down, damn it.
Yeah.
Which
it'd be interesting.
Luffy and Loki, I guess that's one more thing we could talk about.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, last thing real quick about Zoro. If he does have a way to beat Domi REVERSI, that'd be so funny. And I was going back and I was like, okay, how do we beat it? You know, Zoro REVERSI guy, you know, we know that they're all based off of pieces, and so far nothing's really worked. But what if you really have to like flip the giants? Like, you have to like take them and just flip them upside down. And I went back to the Daily Back fight where Sanji and Zoro are fighting Pans. And that's what Zoro and Sanji did. They literally flipped the giant Wotan.
Grabbed him by the head.
Yeah, grabbed him by the head, threw him at the ground. And it's like, what if that's what has to happen? Because when Dory and Brogy were Domi REVERSI, they literally flipped into the ground. So what if you just flip them back over? So I think that is pretty viable, but outside of that, Luffy and Loki, we haven't seen them. I don't know why. Like, people are saying, oh, they're still fighting the Draugr. I don't think that's possible. Like, the Draugr's done. Like, it's just one nightmare monster. There's no way that a single Draugr is stalling them that long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but there is infinite Draugrs, at least.
Yeah,
like,
there's infinite Draugrs,
one,
but only one fell down, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, only one Draugr fell down to the underworld.
Sorry,
So
I was misplacing that. Yeah.
my thing is that they either got distracted, Loki is really slow at flying, or I like this idea. Somebody commented this, and I really enjoyed it. They're saying, what if we don't see Luffy and Loki for a while? Because Loki flew too fast and they ended up in the heaven realm. He jumped up
Like
or flew
Momo.
so high, they ended up in the heaven realm, and we're gonna have a whole ass Luffy Loki detour. And that's what stalls
That
them
would
so that
be
everybody can fight before Luffy and Loki shows up. Because that's usually how it goes. They show up at the very end.
Yeah, and that is what Momo did. Momo kind of did the same thing. Not necessarily like he went through the thing, he didn't need to, but it was like out of control slash not the intended thing. And you know what? For Loki's sake, that is plausible considering he's been locked up for 6, 7, 8 years, right? So like it would make sense that he's like rusty. I was having another funny idea. What is Emu's like? What is the we like the issue with the arc and One Piece going forward in general is that Luffy is pretty like not peerless, but it's hard to beat Luffy. Whether Luffy can beat the opposition, that's a different thing, right? So we're at a
Yeah.
stalemate at like minimum, and um so that makes the arc very interesting because like by having Emu here, so much of the dynamics, so much of the decisions are crazy, but now you add Loki on that, and that was always an interest before we got Scopper, for example, or just like after Scopper. I think it was very like, oh my god, the board is stacked against like these guys. Like as soon as Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy show up, it's over. Whether they can beat them or not, they can definitely hold off them. I think most people were like, I'm not worried when Luffy and when the Monster Trio come up. I'm not worried, right? So if that's the case, and Luffy is the main like kingpin there, then what you said earlier made me think like, what if they just start pushing the nightmares off, and then Luffy and Loki are just stuck beating up all these nightmares, and
Yeah,
they're
like
just
where
like,
do they keep on coming from?
yeah, yeah, and so then now everybody up on top has to deal with everything. That would be tense if they don't have Loki and Luffy. Now I'm scared. And Scopper's down like 3 holes in him,
Yeah.
right? That would be
Cause it's
worrisome.
funny because I held a poll about Brook, like, oh, Brook's going to Gunko, they're gonna have a moment. And it's like, well, they wouldn't have the moment if Luffy and Loki showed up, because they just start beating the strongest person there. They'd be fighting. Brook wouldn't
Yeah.
have his whole emotional backstory. So in
Hmm.
reality, we do kind of have to stall Luffy and Loki. So sending them to the Heaven World, I think would be a lot of fun, just so that we could finally see what's going on. And the main reason I like that idea a lot is just because I have no idea what else they'd be doing. Like, realistically, what is stalling them down there minus the meme of like nightmares continuously falling down on them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I could, yeah, the meme is funny, but yeah, I like that Heaven Realm stall path. It would feel odd in the sense of I felt this way when Ripley took Frankie to like the lab and stuff like that, and she acknowledged like, the school is issuing a alert via like island wide, whatever, tree wide alarm system, and then she just keeps going. I'm like, what? Like
That
if
was
I
kind of
heard
silly.
yeah, and so like they did that for the sake of like Frankie seeing the lore. It was just so it was in the wrong place and time. It didn't make sense for Ripley, who is a teacher also a fighter, just ignoring something. Like it's not a fire drill. Surely their alarms are separated. Like they're ringing like, "Hey, we're being sieged and kids are kidnapping." I would imagine that they would put like the nuclear alarm for that. If I'm hearing in my city hit the nuke alarm, I'm not like, you know what, Frank? You want to
You're
go
like
see the
running,
woods
dude.
real quick? Yeah, it's just kind of it is an interest. So it would be kind of like that with Luffy and Loki, unless Loki knows something's up there that like one of them needs to like wield, get, see, whatever. Maybe Ragnar's like, hey, we need to go up there. You know what I mean? Like I know this. That's the other thing. Shouldn't Ragnar know Nika, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. But Luffy hasn't gotten Nika form yet.
Right. But so when he does, he'll be like, squeak, 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 and then Loki's like, wait, he's Sun God, I'm not. And then it's like, squeak, squeak. And then Luffy's like, I'm just Luffy. And then they're like, okay, well, let's take him up to the Heaven Realm now. Because there's probably something at the Heaven Realm. If we're going there now, there has to be a reason that it's pertinent to what's coming next. Frankie's situation, that wasn't the case. Unless Lilith comes out of that castle, I got the 3,000-year-old counter to Emu who didn't exist back then. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? But the Heaven Realm could have, I don't know, another Ragnar or something, like anything. And then like
the
a
reason they're
like
able to go up there while this is all going down, Luffy says, oh, don't worry, Zoro and Sanji can take care of it. And then Loki says, and my little brother is there as well. And then we get a flashback of Loki beating Hiruden. And he says, to tell you the truth, Hiruden, the only reason I beat you as a kid was because I was scared of your powers.
Why is he so edgy? It's over this call. You slowly made it more and more edgy.
Loki, the only reason I fought you early on was because I was scared of
you.
Scared of
you know
your
what's
potential.
funny about what you said? I can almost see it in the opposite. That like Luffy goes like, oh yeah, they're fine, and we have Hiruden there, and Loki's like, don't count on Hiruden. The real fighters are Zoro and Sanji. I could smell the conquerors off them. Like I could see, because also Loki actually could glaze Zoro because Zoro kicked his ass.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he knows how strong Zoro is. Like, he might actually be like, yeah, Hiruden, don't ever fight these guys. Like, this guy could kill you with his toe.
I don't know. I mean, that is possible, but there's also reality where Zoro said, hey, Hiruden, as a member of the Grand Fleet, you must show your worth, and then Hiruden locks in.
Oh yeah, I want them to pull rank. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, the Straw Hats pulling rank over the Grand Fleet. Sacrifice. Peons, like, oh, that'd be so crazy. What did they call themselves? Are they the officers? When they did the bounties, they called themselves something, right?
I think it was officers.
Yeah. It'll take centuries for you to reach the rank of an officer, Hiruden. You'll never step foot on the main fleet boat, the flagship boat.
God, dude.
Oh God.
Yeah, shouts to Hiruden. We love him. We hate him.
We want
make
him to
fun
be
of him
great.
because we want him to do great. Exactly. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But
he may not have been great at any point, but like he has the potential. He's the first Crown Prince. Yeah.
And his dream is, I would say, bigger than Luffy's. He wants to be king of the giants, and literally giants are big.
I was just thinking, like, what if the thing that's on top is like what Hiruden was supposed to get? It's like Gungnir, but now it's Luffy's, and so he just gets like cucked on that side too.
No, it's back to what we talked about, right? Like Hiruden's true power could be in the Heaven Realm. Loki's gonna unleash it.
Yeah. Luffy gets it, and then but the thing is, Luffy doesn't care for weapons, so he just like tosses it back. Hiruden catches it. It's like something about this feels hereditary.
Yeah, something about this feels powerful.
The 3 panels turn to the viewer.
Oh, do you remember how Hiruden beat Mach Weiss and he like shot him into the sky?
Yeah.
Imagine Hiruden uses that attack on Emu, and it says, Emu, time to send you to the moon.
I was thinking something completely different. I was gonna say, oh well, I guess it's because we know that Mach Weiss landed, but I was like, what if he didn't land and Mach Weiss comes landing back down with like the 10,000 kilogram thing? Oh my god! And then
in reality,
just lands on Emu.
Mach Weiss should have died there. Like Hiredin shot his ass to the birdcage, and we saw the birdcage just by touching it, you get cut. Mach Vibes was flying against the birdcage at like 1,000,000 miles per hour, and he's fine. Well, okay, not fine. He was knocked unconscious, but he really should have just died right there. Yeah.
Yeah, he should have been
like it was like being sent to a
sliced.
wood chipper.
Yeah, straight up. Unless he has insane armament hockey.
Yeah, he went full body armament hockey at the last second. That's it.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, I've trained against Dofi's birdcage for this very day. That'd be crazy if Doflamingo trained them with birdcage. That's why Virgo has full body armament. Oh my god.
Yeah, to see if they can survive it.
Yeah, because Doflamingo found out from like when he raided the Barrel Pirates or whatever, Diaz, the Drake's dad. He realized like, I need my guys to be able to survive birdcage too. So he just tortured them endlessly, put them in birdcage. Virgo's like, no, Dofi, please. No, every inch of your body has to be covered in hockey. Oh god.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Definitely something. But with that being said, we'll catch you guys later. That is it for the Parcast. We went a lot longer than I thought we were going to. You know, like I said, I thought this was going to be a short one, but we spent 40 minutes on... What were we talking about in the beginning?
Bon Clay, Impel Down, stuff like that. Doflamingo being...
There's like one more
there was something silly.
Tangent. There was like a silly-ass tangent there somewhere.
Something about them being recognized, just the hair color difference. No, that wasn't it.
No,
something
I don't even remember
lines.
Anymore.
Yeah, guys, if you guys remember what happened, comment it down below.
Short-term memory loss. But yeah, we'll catch y'all later. Peace out. Stay safe.
Peace.
Hopefully next chapter we get some fire stuff.